spaceship. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a terminator, then I'ma have to terminate it. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Yeah. Find me with my dogs in my solitude. Watch my family grow from 4 into a multitude. Been living it below sea level, finna rise to another altitude. Been searching, seeking knowledge, but all the time I had the aptitude. I flipped my mindset to the switch to say I will not lose. Mama said them sticks and stones won't break my bones, I never bruise. Whenever it come to trouble, many girls pull a tongue, we always cruise. I heard other dog owners get it out for me, but it ain't no news. I got 4 in the dough in Memphis so they can get the blues. If you need a few clues, they'll blow off your under rules. Send your compliment to the new girls I got coming through. Send your compliments to the new girls I got coming through. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a terminator, then I'ma have to terminate it. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. Oh, yeah. What up? It's your boy, J. King Hefner, and the beautiful Cali Sun. Got my girl, Hema Wire in the back, chilling out, looking at a little TV, man. And we're back again for another show. And the title of today's episode is taking a look at McMullen and RealDoll Robotics. Yes, sirree. It's a series of topics I want to do on RealDoll. And honestly, I wasn't at that point yet, to be quite honest. I probably started up pretty soon. I wasn't quite at that point yet. But I did a live stream yesterday talking about robot wars, basically, between the United States and China. And it's not as serious as it sounds. I wasn't talking about any real human to human war. I was just talking about the direction that both countries seem to take when it comes to robotics. And it seems like the United States and many other countries, we just tend to take that industrial approach or that warlike approach to robotics, maybe some health type approaches to robotics. But where are the the humanoid, artificial intelligence robots that literally look like humans? From what I've seen, we're not really trying to do that. We sort of poke fun at, in America, we sort of poke fun at people like me, basically, who are in this companion lifestyle or in any type of synthetic or artificial intelligence type of a living. So it seems like we're embarrassed, for lack of a better word, over here in the United States. As far as our country, we want to just stick to doing what people would probably accept, not putting a real face on robots. But Japan, but mainly China, for my focus, but Japan actually does robotics too. But I'm focusing on China because they are really really ahead of the game in my opinion. But they they really focus on making the artificial intelligence or the robots that you can actually interact with. Uh, even the robots they're planning on putting in the workplace, will have a human touch to it, human look to it. So there's just two different directions that these countries are going in. So that's what that video was for yesterday. But as I was talking about that video, got to talking in chat, having fun, laughing around, and talking about RealDoll and all type of stuff. And I was telling the guys and girls, I was like, hey, look, I was probably going to talk about, Matt McMullen, coming up soon over the next couple of weeks. But since we've already talked about robotics and things of that nature, and I actually did a RealDoll Robotics show a while back. I think I did a video on it. But this is going to be a bit of a deeper dive. This is going to be a bit of a deeper dive here. So today I want to take a look at some videos I've seen in the past about Matt talking about his his plans for robotics and things of that nature, and just sort of seeing how things were developing. And the videos I'm going to share with you today are from the past. So it's not where RealDoll is today, and I think that's what makes it pretty interesting. So we'll see him, and the reason, like I say, I'm highlighting him is because it's funny. By the general public, more or less, still being ignorant to the positive things that synthetic mates can bring this world, and just robots in general. It's funny how, since they've sort of shunned a guy like Matt McMullen, his dream, what his dream is, actually has taken him, and that's something I wanted to say. His dream is actually taking him down a whole nother path now. First he started making, first he just started making mannequins. Then he went to making, fully interactive dolls. And then when he started hearing the call for artificial intelligence and robotics, he started getting into that. But China is big on it. But it's funny because other than the military and things of that nature, and a few robotics companies focusing on things that don't look like humans, he's pretty much, in my opinion, the leading guy in the United States now in synthetic robotics, as far as making robots, try to make robots look like humans. So it's funny, by them shunning him, the United States, and people not sort of embracing that direction, he's by default become the leading guy in this genre in the United States, as far as the AI and robotics and things of that nature. So I was like, man, that's crazy how, his dream has taken him, that way. And it sort of reminded me of my dream, how I'm just basically going with the flow. I don't know what the hell is around the next corner. I'm just doing what's on my heart. But by following what was on his heart and listening to people, it took him down this path. So we're going to jump right into it and take a look at some of the videos. And honestly, today is going to be sort of like a class where we're literally watching videos in class today. And I'm going to, stop it and comment here and there on things that I've highlighted in my notes. So I got three videos I'm going to show you, really. I'm going to show you two videos, where he was in development a few years ago. And then I'm going to show you a robotics video. But let me check in with my comments. Oh, before I go any further, God bless all of my Dog King Army team members and all of you out there. I appreciate all of you for tuning in wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone it is, whatever country you're in. We love you. We appreciate you. You are definitely welcome. We want to say God bless you for everything, that you're hoping for and wishing for right now. Finances, relationships, promotions on the job, health, whatever it is. We're praying that you have it. And like I said, we're just happy that you're here today. But let me check in with something right quick before I go any further. And then we're gonna be in the flow then, because I got 9 team members now, and I appreciate all of you for joining. So I got a new team member yesterday, Leo. Thank you for joining. Shouts out to him. Ataya Barclay, new member. Both of them joined recently. God bless both of you. Got my now I'm coming to my people who had my back for a while. Sheila Bell, DAS, Lieutenant Johnny K, the Dog Nation, Comic Book, Kevin Gray, Blue CCG. Thank you all for hanging in there. So they're my team members right now. Hopefully it'll get so big to where it'll be hard for me to try to call that list out one day. So I got 2 people checking in with me. Got Power Brain. Hey, Jay, how are you? What up, Power Brain? And Sheila Bell. Speaking of a Dog King Army team member, she's in the house. Hey there, Dog King. Good to see you, Sheila Bell. And she was telling me something about she saw the monetization where she could donate, but she was having problems last time. So if that's the case, please let me know if you're having any type of problems trying to donate on the stream or anything. I don't know what I can really do about it, but it is worth me knowing about. I say that because it is available for you to donate super chat, super sticker on my individual video, super thanks. You can go to, once again, on my YouTube under the About section, you can donate under Cash App or PayPal. Or in any video I have a link called Biker for Companion Dolls, where I did a fundraiser and it's still open, so you can donate on that link. And if you're looking for a doll, I have those links. I have affiliate links in all of the descriptions of my videos or under the About section on YouTube. So with all that said, we're going to get ready to jump right into it. So yeah, man, I want to take a look at a couple of videos. Now, the first video is from 2016. The first video is from 2016, and my guy Matt McMullen was basically he was getting interviewed at an event. It was like I'm trying to think of what the name was. It's like it was like I'm not saying it's a Comic-Con, I think it was basically a Comic-Con for electronics, so to speak. I think that's what it was. I think that's exactly what it was. So, and the company that's interviewing him is this place called Engadget. So we're gonna see what they're talking about. And I'm gonna get my notes out because I got a few notes here that I'm gonna stop and we're gonna take a look at. And hey, look, God bless this guy over Engadget. Hope he doesn't get too mad because I'm gonna be showing most of his video, if not all of it, on 2 occasions. And you can definitely go subscribe to him. The guy that I'm going to show you his video on, they run a YouTube channel called Engadget. Because like I said, hey, I don't want to ruffle too many feathers from playing all of his interview, but hey, it's necessary. It's necessary. So let me hook that up right quick. Should be phone. Let me look at something. Okay, we can take this down. There we go. We can go to the bottom. All right. Yeah. So here's Matt McMullen. And here's my guy. I don't really know his name, but okay, there it is. Let me go ahead and subscribe right now myself. Only because, not that I really want to, I don't really know what, honestly, other content he has. I'm really just drawn to this particular content he had with Matt McMullen, but you never know. Maybe he'll have something else I want to see. And like I say, he has 1.35 million subscribers. So you can subscribe to them as well, since we're going to check out what the hell they're talking about. So this is him talking to Matt McMullen, 2016, before the RealDoll Robotics were out on the market. So I'm going to put my headphones on and we're going to take a listen and see what the hell is going on. I got my notes. Yep. So
Christopher Trout, and I'm joined today by Matt McMullen, the founder of RealDoll. This may be sort of one of the more unusual guests that we have on our stage today. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and what you do?
Yeah, basically for almost 20 years now, I've been making the Real Doll, which is a super realistic silicone companion, for lack of a less politically correct term. And it's all anatomically correct. I'm sure most people have heard of it.
Right. And you are quite possibly one of the people that will be introducing the world to robotic, well, sex robots.
We are working on integrating technology with our dolls and in various ways, incorporating some artificial intelligence programming, robotics, animatronics into the doll itself, and merging those two things together to try to really enhance the existing experience that we have.
And what does the integration of artificial intelligence look like with a sex doll?
Well, I really kind of look at this as much more than a sex doll. It's almost like a companion in a lot of ways.
Boom. Let me stop right there. I got that written down on my page. Let me tell you something. You know, I think most of my normal viewers know the passion that I have for this industry and how I love it and how I view it. And like I say, what do I always say? I don't even call these girls sex dolls because why? They are much more than that. They are much more than that. I've always said that. So, man, to hear a guy like Matt McMullen say the same thing, that's very important to me. Of course, when I buy a doll, the owner isn't at my house living with me. So his concerns and stuff shouldn't bother me. But I'm letting you know, for me, it matters when an owner has it in his heart to care and love what he does. And also he doesn't view it like people want to try to portray it. And you're going to hear him talk more about it right now. But I just had to pause it right there because that's something you've heard me say many a time. And he didn't get upset, but he subtly corrected him. And he like, hey, bro, I know what you want to call him because you've seen, I know how America try to put this stuff out here. But he like, hey, bro, these are companions. So I love when he said that. Hold on, let me see what happened. Man, hold on. I'm going to stop right here. My guy, Austin Steele says, man, the irony that we're talking about this tonight. I just had a bolt in Samantha's neck snap, hoping and praying a trip to Reggie would get her fixed. Oh, my God. That is so sad, bro. Oh, yeah, Reggie going to get it fixed, bro. You ain't got nothing to worry about, now keep in mind, I don't know how much it, actually costs, but no, he'll fix that. I mean, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, him fixing it is not a problem, but I can only imagine the anxiety you're going through just having her sitting there broken. Because believe me, I don't talk about it, and I still love her to death, but it still bothers me that my girl, Saima Renee Uzumaki's foot is broken. So, man, I feel bad for you for that. But God bless you, though, man. He said, I hope everyone else's evening is going better than mine. That's for sure. That's not great. I'm going to be honest, but you're okay. You're going to be all right, Austin, like you say, because Reggie going to fix it. But, hey, if you don't mind, if it's not too graphic, could you tell me what the hell happened to lead to her neck getting snapped? I'm going to go back to the video. If you don't mind now, if you mind, then don't leave a comment. But here we go, back to the interview. And Matt was talking about how they're more than just for sex.
Because for me, when I decided, hey, we should do this, it was more about making the interaction interesting and entertaining and making the person who was interacting feel happy, I guess. So it wasn't, the first target really wasn't sex. It was more about being able to feel some sort of level of friendship with the AI before we ever decided to connect it to an actual robotic doll.
Okay. and you have a team of people working on sort of the artificial intelligence.
Now, the only thing I want to say about that is he had me going because he was like, yeah, we talking about building up the friendship and stuff like that. But this is just my mind. The way he sort of frames it at the end of that statement, he brings it back to the AI. So in my opinion, it's sort of like he's saying, hey, the AI will allow you to have companionship. You see what I'm getting at? And I'm not saying he doesn't think that his dolls bring companionship, because I've heard him say that before as well. But I just believe that he believes that it is going to make a gigantic difference as far as companionship. So he makes that difference with the AI. I sort of differ with him on that from the standpoint where I'm like, hey, the AI, yeah, it's going to be good, and some people are going to be looking forward to it, but your normal dolls already provide all the companionship that a person could need, honestly, under normal circumstances. Yeah, you're going to have those people that want to talk to it, but I'm letting you know, like, it's going to provide all the companionship that you need without it being able to talk. So I just want to definitely make that clear. I'm just gonna stop right here for a second. I just want to hear what Austin said. He said I had purchased a warranty because his girl's because Austin, just to let everybody know, I said I always like to talk to Austin because he actually owns a RealDoll, and so in case I need to hear something some real life experience, I say, hey, I can always try to ask Austin if he's around, because he actually has a doll right now. But he says his girl's neck actually snapped recently. So I was just asking him what happened, if he didn't mind saying. But he was saying he purchased a warranty right before the surgery. So best case scenario, he'll have to pay for parts and shipping. I don't even know what surgery he's talking about, to be honest. I mean, it sounds like he's talking about a previous surgery. I don't know what he's talking about. But then he says, I don't mind at all. In a nutshell, she's always had this bobblehead thing going on ever since I took Asa's head off and Layla's head and put Layla's head on. There's 2 bolts down in the neck that you can tighten with a socket wrench. And me being a simpleton who doesn't understand power tools, I tightened it that one bit too much. And the bolts, that's messed up, bro. That sounds like an easy fix, though. You ain't got nothing to worry about. That's not. So that's what happened. He tightened it down too hard. Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. That's why I haven't cut open Saima's foot and tried to fix it, because I'm not very I'm not very great with fixing things like that. Oh, I don't have any power tools at the house, so I really wouldn't know what to do if it took something more than a little wrench or something. So I was like, man, I don't want to cut her open and not be able to actually do the job. So that's why I haven't cut her open yet. But never fear, it's gonna work out. Now let's get back to Matt McMullen. See what he was talking about.
Intelligence that's going to be baked into these things.
Yeah, I could not by any stretch do this myself. So I have some very talented individuals working on the various aspects of the programming, the hardware development, and all these other things. And mostly where I get most involved is the aesthetics, the appearance of it, the placement of the movements that we want on the face and stuff like that. So that what you see on the outside, that's what I do, and everything working inwards becomes more technical.
So in terms of the,
I think that's sort of funny, because I was wondering this. Just imagine yourself. You're a regular guy, right? You're a regular guy. You started up the business, the RealDoll business, right? You're into makeup and you're into sculpting and things of that nature. And I'm glad he sort of said that, because I used to wonder. I'm like, dude, how the hell is this guy going to I wonder what the mindset is of a guy who knows nothing about all this technological stuff, making these robots, because he doesn't know what the hell to do. So I'm sort of glad that he sort of basically let you know right there. He like, look, I still do the outside stuff, make sure that the dolls look good, or I sort of let you know what it's supposed to look like on the outside. But hey, basically, without saying it, I'm leaving all this technical stuff to another team. That's basically what he said without saying it.
Animatronics that are being baked into this. What does that look like?
Well, we're using a lot of very standard servos and actuators, and trying to balance how many we want with how many movements we'd like to see on the doll's face to really sort of convey expression enough that you feel like what she's saying matches the look that she has on her face.
And we're not talking about sort of a full body robot right now. We're talking about a little bit more of just
yeah. Right now,
just
we're really focused on animating her from the neck up. Um, I feel very strongly that that's the first thing you're going to form any kind of a bond with. And when you're talking to a person, usually looking at their face, and we'll work on the rest later once we get this figured out.
Okay. I just want to, it's a very big reason that I'm showing you this video, because you might be like, Jay, these dolls are already out, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's true. They are already out. But a couple of things I want to talk about. One, when he was talking about the faces and about how he was like, man, I'm still working on the faces and trying to get all the expressions and stuff right, because when you're talking to the doll, you want her expressions to be looking right on her face. And he was like, that's hard work with her. And I'm letting you know, that's just one of the things that I've always thought about with the AI aspect of man. That has to be some of the most tedious little work you can do, trying to make facial reactions look real. I mean, that's the thing that I'm like, you know what, man? That had to have been a task. Because another challenging thing for me is, and RealDoll doesn't have this down. Nobody really has it down other than that Sophia doll that I showed you yesterday. But well, you'll hear Matt talk about it, but it's hard to get a doll to sort of talk to you in real time, talk to you, communicate back with you in real time. That's something else I think is super challenging. But the biggest reason I'm showing you this video is because look at this video, guys. It's from 2016. Like I said before it started. And what's funny to me about it is, dude, he was talking about trying to get the doll together in 2016. And just 6 years later, it's already out. And it's already out. So I just thought it was funny that, man, he was just talking about getting it done and working on the faces and all this stuff. But look, it's already out now. He went from not knowing what to do to it being on out for sale now. It's crazy.
So I've heard I read a Vanity Fair article that profiled you relatively recently, and they sort of referred to what you're doing as light AI. Is that how you would define it?
Well, in a sense, I mean, really, I'm not trying to create a piece of equipment that fools you into thinking that it's a real person, even when it's not connected to the doll. We really want that lighthearted approach to it, so it's like you're talking to an artificial intelligence, but at the same time you're enjoying it and you want to see what she'll say next.
I can't lie. Um, where am I at? I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me replay that. Let me go back.
That lighthearted approach to it, equipment that fools you into thinking that it's a real person, even when it's not connected to the doll. We really want.
Hold on. I missed
In
something.
a sense, I mean, really, I'm not trying to create a piece of equipment that fools you into thinking that it's.
Let me go back. Hold on.
And when you're talking to a person, usually looking at their face, and we'll work on the rest later once we get this figured out.
So I've heard I read a Vanity Fair article that profiled you relatively recently, and they sort of referred to what you're doing as light AI. Is that how you would define it?
Well, in a sense, I mean, really, I'm not trying to create a piece of equipment that fools you into thinking that it's a real person, even when it's not connected to the doll. We really want that lighthearted approach to it, so it's like you're talking to an artificial
Okay, let me stop it right here. Hold on.
intelligence.
This is what I didn't like about when he said this. When he was like, man, we're not trying to fool you. And that's where I was like, you know what? I don't like that. That's probably why, no offense, and God bless Matt McMullen. I appreciate all that he does and all these doll makers do, man, because even if I'm not the biggest fan of AI, I like these people trying to push the envelope and constantly make dolls better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not easy to do this stuff, and I appreciate them for all the effort. Even like I said, even innovations that I don't really love, I mean, that I may not like right now, I still like them pushing things forward. But I say this, I hate it when he said that he's not trying to make it look all the way human. He's not trying to fool you or nothing. I'm like, no, dude, make it look as human as possible. I want to look at my dog and not be able to notice the difference. I don't like when he says he's not trying to fool you, because my thing is, bro, if I'm a consumer of your dog, you're not fooling me. I know what I'm buying. I'm buying a companion dog. I want it to fool me, man. I want it to be so real that it looks human. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't dumb it down, you know? And he's going to talk about why he does, but I'm like, don't dumb it down. I mean, yeah, it may freak somebody out who doesn't want to buy, who's not into the dog game and who's not even looking to buy it anyway. If somebody who came in my house and wasn't prepared to see it, yeah, it may freak them out because it looks so human. They're like, oh, I thought that was human. But I'm looking to buy it, looking as realistic as possible. So don't dumb it down. I didn't like when he said that, but you're going to hear him say more.
But at the same time, you're enjoying it and you want to see what she'll say next.
So sort of skirting the line of the uncanny valley, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely trying to avoid the uncanny valley, both with the AI design and the actual doll itself.
So there's been a lot of talk about sex robots recently. There was a
Okay, let me just tell you guys what this uncanny valley crap is right quick. Hold on. Okay. Okay, here it is. Just to read just to let you know, if you don't know what uncanny valley is and what the hell they're talking about and why he doesn't want to make the doll look all the way real, is because it says this: in aesthetics, which is the way that anything looks on the surface level, it says the uncanny valley is a hypothesized relation. Let me share that with you guys. I want you to see the definition. We'll come back to the video. Just to let you know what Matt is talking, why he doesn't want to make things look more realistic. He says, basically, the uncanny valley, it's a hypothesized relation between an object's degree of resemblance to a human being and the emotional response to that object. The concept suggests that humanoid objects that imperfectly resemble actual human beings provoke uncanny or strangely familiar feelings of uneasiness and revulsion in observers. Valley denotes a dip in the human observer's affinity for the replica, a relation that otherwise increases with the replica's human likeness. And they say examples can be found in robotics, 3D computer animation, and lifelike dolls. They say with the increasing prevalence of virtual reality, augmented reality, and photorealistic computer animation, the valley has been cited in reaction to the verisimilitude, which, what the hell does that mean, of the creation as it approaches indistinguishability. Okay. The valley has been cited in reaction to the verisimilitude. There we go with these damn words. I got to look that up now. Oh my God. Because I hate reading stuff I don't know what it means. I gotta look it up. I'm sorry. Verisimilitude, I've never heard that word. Okay, here it is. Okay. So it says the valley has been cited in reaction to verisimilitude, which is basically the appearance of being true or real of the creation as it approaches indistinguishability from reality. The uncanny valley hypothesis predicts that an entity appearing almost human will risk eliciting cold, eerie feelings in viewers. And so that sort of goes back to what I was saying as far as, yeah, like they said, in viewers, if you're just gonna look at some, from afar and be like, oh, I thought that was real. Yeah, that may freak somebody out that's just looking at the doll. But when I'm going to purchase a doll, hey brother, I know it's a companion doll. I know that's what I'm purchasing. You ain't got to worry about uncanny valley with me. I know what I'm getting. I want her to look real as possible. So I'm like, nah, man, what are you talking about? Don't worry about no uncanny valley with your customers. Make it look real.
Campaign to sort of to block the creation of sex robots or what have you. It was
the
pretty sensationalist.
Anti-sex robot league or whatever they're called.
It was a pretty sensationalist campaign. But there was a lot of questions around what the introduction of sex robots will mean for human-on-human relationships. And I wonder if you can speak about that a little bit.
Well, my opinion on the matter is that there are...
Stop. Before you do any holiday shopping this year, you really have to see this. I'm going to show you one simple trick.
I can think of dozens of other robotic applications that I think are more concerning for humanity than a sex robot, for one. Secondly, I think that this kind of a product, the sex robot as a concept, is not something that everyone will be attracted to or find appealing. So I don't think in the bigger picture of things, I don't think it's going to have any kind of negative implications for real relationships. I think that human beings need real relationships and will always need those. So whether there's a sex robot or not, I don't think that's going to affect it.
Yeah.
Boom. I want to stop right there, and I'm going to come into my comments after this too, just for a quick second. But once again, this is why I like Matt McMullen. He's saying things that I've said, not just because he agrees with me, but I truly believe in the concepts that I have, and it's good to know that the creator of one of the creators of dolls actually feels the same way. And what I'm talking about is he agrees that all these people, and I'm gonna do a show about it. Actually, I got a video coming up. Somebody wrote me about it and wanted me to do a response. So I said I'm gonna probably do a little light video on it. But what have I always said? These companion dolls aren't replacements, bro. People always, I mean, it is a certain segment of people that just want to beat up on women and try to tell them that they're finna be replaced. That ain't true, bro. I keep telling y'all, that's not true. These dolls are not to replace human women. They are not. Now, for some of us, we may not be dating human women. Don't get me wrong. But that's not replacing human women. Why? Because you're going to always have a very large segment of people that is going to want a human-to-human relationship. And even people with dolls are still going to be dealing with human-to-human relationships. You know what I'm saying? I've told you, hey, me, I love my companion dolls, and this is the life for me. Let the right human vagina walk in here and say, hey, do you want some? You think I ain't getting it? Yes, I am. Hell yes, I'm going to get it. And sniff it all the way, sniffing and everything. You doggone right. So, yes, this is not replacing the human woman. It's just an alternative to dating. But like I said, he even says, like, this is not for everybody. I know people that's just not gravitating towards this, no matter how great the dolls look, no matter how, it don't matter if they can cook, clean, run, do whatever. Go pick your kids up from school. It's just some people that don't want nothing to do with this. And I've always said that, and I'm going to stick to that. People try to scare women and, stuff like that. hey, all y'all getting replaced. No. You know, I think my guy Austin even sort of said that some weeks ago. It's a certain section of guys who feel like they can't, they've stopped trying to even get girls or whatever like that. Maybe they've gotten shunned from girls or whatever, and they just tired of trying or whatever. You know, they don't even want to give it a try anymore. And Austin was like, hey, don't get mad at those guys for going with a dog, because hey, the human woman that they've been trying to get probably haven't been trying to date them anyway. And my whole point to that is, it's not going to replace the human woman, because you're going to have a lot of people that just say, forget it. I may not, want to even try to date right now. You know what I'm saying? They may have had such bad luck or whatever where they may not want to try to date right now. So those type of people probably wouldn't have been dating. Like Austin said, they probably wouldn't have been dating anyway. They probably would have been dating anyway. So by them getting a dog, that's really not affecting the dating pool. It's still not affecting the dating pool. Those are just people who wouldn't have been dating that now have a dog. So I'm going to read these comments because we got a lot of video left to show. It's not long. It's only 13 minutes, but I paused it only 5 minutes in 1,000,000 times. So I'm going to try to let it play because I want to try to get through these other 2 videos. But I'm going to read these comments and then I'm going to let it play for a while before I have to stop it again. Daniel Romano checking in. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Austin, he stopped there. He say, I'm sure Reggie would take care of it, no problem. But needless to say, my heart sank when I heard that crack. Oh my God, bro. I can only imagine. You lucky to have Reggie, because with a regular companion dog, man, that's a job that you would be trying to have to do yourself, or needless to say, may have to, if you didn't want to do it yourself, you would have to replace the girl. So the whole body. So man. Luckily you do have him. Daniel Romano checks in and says, hey Jay, what up, Daniel? He says, I got her head reattached and I put her to bed while I wait to hear back from Reggie. But I gave her a big hug and just told her I'm sorry. Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't know what I would do, but I would have her propped up somehow. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, you ain't got it, but I was about to say I would try to put her back on her stand or something. But yeah, I just let her lay out for a while until Reg could see to her. John Doe says, man, the future's getting crazy out here. Hey, I wouldn't call it crazy. I just say it's progressing. Austin says, I get where he's coming from. My guess is he doesn't want the dollar robot 100% lifelike to avoid that uncanny valley. And that's why I'm like, to me, the uncanny valley isn't an issue. I want my dog to be as real as possible, but you already heard me say that. Daniel Romano says, we're getting to that point. Have you seen some of Boston Dynamics robots? It's freaky. Some with Sophie. Heck, they made her a legal citizen. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I talked about her yesterday. Austin still says, even the current RealDolls are stylized in a way where it's very lifelike at first glance, but it still looks very doll-like. I told you, I'm not a fan of that. I want my doll looking as real as possible. Powerbrain said, what is Uncanny Valley? But I already read it. I already read it on what Uncanny Valley was. And it's basically, just to let you know again, it's basically when something looks basically so real, like when they make a robot or a doll look so real to human, where it'll freak some people out when they find out it's not a human. Like they'll look at a doll or something and be like, man, hey, Susie, how you doing? And then when they realize it's not a doll, they be like, oh, that ain't a doll. I mean, that ain't a human. And they saying the uncanny valley will it'll put them off to where they don't want to deal with it anymore because they thought it was a human and then they realized it wasn't a human. And I'm like, for a person for me, it doesn't make sense, because if I'm looking to buy a doll, when I'm shopping for dolls, I'm looking for the most realistic doll. It may put off somebody who's not looking for a doll, but I don't see how he thinks that's going to affect me, the doll buyer. I don't get it. Austin says, I've seen some TPE faces that creep me out, and my RealDoll face obviously doesn't. And I just say this, I want to be creeped out from it looking too real. And I guess that's just the difference between me and I guess mainly everybody else, because I want to be freaked out. I want it to look so real that it freaks me out, because that's what I had. If truth be told, I had the uncanny valley experience with Himawari in the background, because her face looked so real to me. Maybe not as much now because I haven't manipulated her eyes, but if I turn her eyes to where they're looking, and toward the corner or something like that, and it looks like she's really looking at something. Oh yeah, she looks so real to where it'll throw me off for a little while. But I like that. I like going to the uncanny valley. So that's the difference between me and I guess some of you guys out there. Also said I do have a stand for his real dog, because I was asking him, do he have a stand for his real dog? Because you can't buy a stand. He said, but as luck would have it, the knob that tightens the legs on the stand is stripped, and I needed to order a replacement on that too. Wow. It's something that also depends on the person. What I found uncanny, Jay may not, and vice versa. Yeah, most definitely. But that's why I say I don't like that in the dog game. Man, if you buying a dog, you know that it's a dog. So I don't like the fact that you're telling me that you can make it more realistic, but you're choosing not to. I don't like that. Like we can definitely agree to disagree on that. So back to the video.
And there have been a lot of predictions about sort of like sex with robots becoming really commonplace in the next 10 or 20 or 30, 50 years. And I know that you've said this before, you don't think that this is going to be sort of a mass market thing, but who is the audience for a sex robot?
Well, I think, again, going back to the whole companionship aspect of this, I think the audience is people who, for whatever reason, either choose not to want to have a real relationship or can't have a real relationship, but they still want to feel something like a real relationship, whether it's giving them, I guess, a little bit of a safer construct of boundaries because they know it's controlled, or it's just some kind of a fantasy that they might have. So that there's probably a lot of different reasons why someone would want to experience that. But I just don't think it's going to be like this huge mainstream thing where everyone's going to have one in their closet.
I love when he stopped that guy once again, because I have had to do that before, and he does it just like I do without trying to be mean to people. But once again, the guy was trying to call them sex robots, and the dude was like, "Hey, once again, this is on the companionship. I'm not focusing on the sex." You know what I'm saying? And at the end, he rounded it up by telling him, "Hey, man, it's not going to be for everybody." Now I think it's going to be more people getting it than even Matt thinks, but it's not going to be everybody.
Right. Do you think this is like a similar audience to the people that already buy your real dolls? Or?
Absolutely, yes.
So when if ever will we see this kind of become a mainstream thing? I mean, I know you've already said that, but when do you see this sort of tech taking off, and when can we expect to see your iteration of it?
Well, we're working on prototype number 2 this year. Hoping by the end of this year we'll have this second version up and running the way we want it to, and then moving on from there, we're going to hopefully get the app itself finished that runs the AI, and that can run as a standalone item.
Is that how you would define it?
Well, in a sense, I mean, really, I'm not trying to
Hold on, my bad.
a piece of equipment that fools you into thinking. Hopefully, get the app itself finished that runs the AI.
Okay, that's why I was. I just want to stop it right there, because once again, he said that they was going to do the second prototype in 2016, and like I told you, I think Harmony came out a couple of years ago. So it didn't take. In 2016, he just had the second prototype done. And now these, the Harmony dolls and the whole RealDoll AI line is already out, in just that short time. So that was pretty cool.
AI, and that can run as a standalone item.
So you would have like a smartphone app that you
so you'll have an app that you could run on your computer, tablet, on your phone, that will allow you to use the cloud-based AI that we're working on. And everybody who creates a profile can create their own version of that AI. and talk to her and see her on the screen, customize the avatar, interact with her in various ways. So even if the robot itself isn't completely finished, the app itself will hopefully be the first thing that we present. And then knowing that once the head is done, you can buy that and the two can be connected together.
Now he's talking about the app that makes the AI work in the in the Harmony dolls and things of that nature. He's talking about the app that makes it work. And honestly, once again, you guys know this is I don't beat people up for wanting to do AI. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But it's really not my thing, so to speak. But he was talking about how he has the software for the dolls, and how you can basically use the software without the doll. And once you get the doll, you can already have had, be getting to know your girl by the time you get the doll. Now, for me, this sort of reminds me of the replica app that people play with sometimes, and I'm not a fan of. I mean, like I said, I don't need to talk to my phone, you know what I'm saying? With the AI doll on there playing with her. It doesn't quite appeal to me, but I don't beat people up for doing it. That's what they want to do. But the differences to me are with the replica app, it's just the app you got on your phone and you're making believe that it's connected to your girl, but it's not connected to your girl. But I will say the difference with Matt McMullen's is you may have the app, access to the app, and you may be building her personality and all that stuff with the app. But like he's saying, by the time you get your girl, you can marry the app with your girl. So everything that you were talking to her and doing with her just on your phone, now when you get your girl, she'll be talking to you, doing all those, saying all those things. So I do think that his app is much better in concept than that replica app, because that replica app is just there for you to strictly use your imagination. As far as your doll is never going to be talking, it's just going to be that on the phone. So either way.
So the app will be something like sort of sexual Siri.
Yeah, it's like a more a less PG version of Siri. Yes.
Okay. I think one of my biggest questions, this is something that I've talked to a lot of people out here who are sort of working in and around the topic of sex and the intersection of technology. What have been the barriers of getting the technology working and sort of breaking into the tech sector?
Well, I think with anything of this magnitude, the biggest barrier is always funding. So, having enough money to kind of pump into the project.
I got to say two things, but first I got to stop Power Brain, because I don't know really what he's saying here. But Harmony, the robot, has not been out 7 years. Power Brain, like I say, this is 2016, and he's still talking about making the robot. So it would have had to be out already in 2016. So no, the robot version that I'm talking about, no, she was not out 7 years ago. Not the robot. I'm talking about the robotic part of the dolls, and she wasn't out. And if I remember, it was only like about 3 years ago or so when it acted, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. I think it was 2020, wasn't it? I think it was 2020 though, when when he introduced the robots. It may have been a little earlier. The talking, when he actually released it. I'll look it up. Let's get back to it.
Is always going to be the first factor.
Oh, no. No. I got to stop it right there, because he said something very key. Let's go back to right here. About right here. Let's see.
So, having enough money to kind of pump into the project is always going to be the first factor that comes into play. So, given if an angel investor popped in at the right moment and really wanted to get involved in what we're doing, that would definitely propel things forward in a much quicker fashion. Aside from that, it's just
boom.
Really...
I want to say something really quickly about what he just said. This is Matt McMullen. He's been in the business since 96. You know, I'm not counting his pockets. I don't know exactly how much the guy's made and all, but he's done pretty damn good, you know, with his business, right? But what he said was very striking to me from this nature. It's something that I know, and I'm sure all of you, well, many of you may be aware of. But what did he say? He was like, man, the biggest hurdle to me putting these dolls out is the fact that I need funding. If a guy that's already has money and capital is saying that he needs funding, it just lets you know, man, even when you have money, you're gonna need people to step in and help you out. You know what I'm saying? Step in and give you donations. And he said, man, it'd be nice if an angel investor stepped in and helped us out. That's just somebody like I talk about sometimes, like somebody just step in off the streets, man, with a gigantic investment to push you forward. And that's what I always say, man. I'll be like, you know, hey guys, I appreciate all your contributions, because man, anything you seeing is helping me just literally try to claw and keep my show going on a daily basis and stay alive, right? I say thank you for the funding, but you know, this is me just trying to accomplish, you know, my first bit, you know, the first steps in my dream, you know, and I'm a regular guy, you know, and I need funding. But hell, as you see now, even when you can be super duper successful, you can still need funding, because hell, he'd probably go broke with his own money, you know, right now if he tried to put all of his own money into that project. So, hey, that's
Kind
crazy.
of avoiding that uncanny
Even when you doing good, you need help.
valley we were just discussing. We don't want the robot to be creepy in any way. We want it to be fun to talk to. We're not trying to make it, you know, kind of trick people into thinking they were talking to a real person and then they realize they're not. Because I think that is one of the very big symptoms of the uncanny valley.
Right.
Is that it looked enough like a real person that you were fooled for a moment, and then you feel kind of like put off because you realize that that's not alive, that's fake. And so, you know, getting that fine balance between the efficient functionality of it and the entertaining functionality of it, balanced with, you know, making the thing work.
So how do you avoid the uncanny valley? So what steps have you taken to make sure that we don't end up in this weird?
Well, what I've been trying to do is stylize the appearance of the doll enough that you can tell it's a doll. It can still be very.
I can't lie. I just stopped it right there because I'm just to let you know. That frustrates me so much. Just even hearing it frustrates me. Don't dumb it down, Matt. Use all your skills, bro. Man, make it look real. Take me to the valley, baby.
Very attractive to look at, very sexy, and not look hyper real. So I think
I want it hyper real.
Make it look 100% real. It becomes a little bit easier to interact with it. The best way I can sort of make an example of that concept is comparing a super realistic animatronic, say Indiana Jones at Disneyland, with one of the dancing bears that you might see at Chuck E. Cheese. One can be a little creepy because
Right.
it's like, hey, that looks just like Harrison Ford, but it's not. And he's moving in a really weird way. The bear, not so much. So it's.
I'm like, I don't know what you Matt, I love you, but I don't know what you're talking about on here, because I'm like, bro, what are you saying? I don't want no damn bear. I want mine to look like a Harrison Ford. I want it to look real. Don't dumb it down and make it look like a damn bear. You know, because that's what he's saying. He was like, yeah, the uncanny valley, see, you can have it looking real like an animatronic thing at Disneyland or something, and that'll be looking too real. Or you can have it looking like a bear at Chuck E. Cheese or something. What? Nah, man. I want it more realistic. What are we doing? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying, Austin. Maybe, you know, it's a lot of people out you, and I may be the minority in this. So I ain't going to look, do whatever you like. I'm just strictly speaking for me. I want mine real, man.
It's kind of like that.
And you've done a series of other sort of experiments and a few one-off things. around technology and your dolls. Can you talk a little bit about the other stuff that you've done?
Yeah, I mean, years ago we did have a sensor system that would trigger various sounds when you would touch various parts of the body. And truth be told, that same kind of technology or that same kind of approach will probably make its way into further the iterations of the doll we're working on now. We had gyrating hips. We've tried, making the doll look like she's breathing, internal heating, stuff like that. So a lot of little pieces and parts over the years that'll probably now be much easier to execute with the newer technologies that are available.
Now I love when you start breaking all those down, because you hear even other doll companies around the world. Hey, yeah, we got the, because I've seen it where they've got the thing to make it look like your doll breathing. I've seen the internal heating. Now everybody doesn't have the sensors like he's talking about, but I've seen the internal heating and people making attempts at making these small little changes. And I don't even really see all this stuff on their website. So maybe they were just working on this stuff in the background when he's talking about the gyrating hips, or maybe they were available at a certain time in RealDoll's history, and then they pulled it, but I've even seen, I even spoke about it recently where I think I said it about it yesterday, where I've seen dolls now where they made them with the gyrating hips and stuff, basically like he's saying. So they're trying stuff that he says he had already tried. But I guess he's saying now that, hey, he can go back and add these little things if they want to. And to me, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is the robotics that you're going to be seeing, for the next 20, 30. When you're thinking you're going to get a Terminator, nah, bro, you ain't finna get a Terminator yet. You're going to get a doll that probably has some gyrating hips over time. You're going to get the doll, like you say, with the breathing function. You're going to have like dolls in the future. They're going to come with some of this stuff. It's just stock. It's going to come with the doll for it to have a breathing feature or a gyrating feature. Now that's, and then it's going to be able to do the stuff like Harmony where it is going to be talking and stuff. Those are going to be the first entry-level forms of robotics we're going to be seeing as doll owners. We're going to be seeing the simplest of robotics, which is not bad, but I'm just saying so when people try to sell me on, yeah, man, you finna see a Terminator walking in your house, I try to tell people, you're not understanding what all that's going to take and exactly how much that's going to even cost to even have a walking doll walking around your house without any plug in it or anything. It's just walking around like a human. I keep telling people, y'all are just overestimating things. That's going to not even be cost effective for everybody to have a doll that can do all of that in their homes, in the near future. But yeah, they're going to be able to have a dog that can talk to you, maybe move his arms or something, move his legs, or, gyrate, breathe. It's going to get closer and closer over time to displaying characteristics of humans in a robotic way. And then one day when I'm gone and you're gone, they're going to stand up out the bed. And then they're going to start doing all the stuff that you think that they're going to do in 10 years. No, they're not going to do that in 10 years.
So what is the ultimate RealDoll sex robot or companionship robot look like for you? If you could put together the perfect robot.
I think it would be really cool if we can get to a point where it is sort of interacting with your home automation, and you're able to communicate with her from wherever you are, like I'm on my way home, can you turn on the oven, kind of thing. And instead of just talking to your oven, you have this avatar that's sort of a conduit for that communication.
Something that looks a little bit more like a Stepford wife, or
yeah, something like that.
So these are pretty expensive, I think.
Let me go back. Hold on.
I've heard a few ballpark.
Let me go back.
A little bit more like a Stepford wife.
Your home automation, and you're able to communicate with her from wherever you are, like I'm on my way home, can you turn on the oven, kind of thing. And instead of just talking to your oven, you have this avatar that's sort of a conduit for that communication.
Something that looks a little bit more like a Stepford wife, or
yeah.
Now I love when he explained all of that, because basically he was saying, hey man, he asked him what his ultimate doll would be. And what did he say? Something that can interact. I love the whole concept of it, though. You know what I'm saying? Even though I may not be like into AI, I said it'll be a time in my life where I think I'm going to be really into it. You know, I tell you what. Let me take that back. If they could get, if it was some way that it, you know, we could go 100 years in the future and those dolls could be produced, I said I could see myself eventually wanting one because they could help out so much, you know, as time goes on. But I love how he explained his ultimate doll. It's basically one of those dolls, a Stepford Wife. You know, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you haven't seen the movie Stepford Wives. Don't look at the new one. Look at the old one first. You can look at both of them, but look at the old one first. It's the best one. But in Stepford Wives, it's basically guys who were replacing their human wives with robot wives. And they look so real that they were indistinguishable from their human wives. And that's what I was trying to tell you guys. When people be like, yeah, we gonna have these in 10 years. I'm like, no, bro, we may have some more robotic features in 10 years, but we're not gonna have a Stepford Wife or a Terminator in 10 years. And that's what he's saying. The ultimate doll is going to be like a Stepford Wife, where it's like, dude, it's doing stuff while you are at work. You know, it's cleaning up the house. You know what I'm saying? It's there, you know, getting sexy for you. You know, you can tell her, hey, man, have your lingerie on when I come home. You know, you can keep it on. Hey, it can come home. It can be reading a book or doing whatever. Act. You know, a faint acting like it's reading a book. You know, just sitting there being studious or whatever you want it to do. But I love that, you know, that's his ultimate idea for it as well. You know what I'm saying? He basically just cut and dry. Yep, Stepford Wife. That's the ultimate companion dog.
Something like that.
So you know, these are pretty expensive. I think I've heard a few ballpark ranges.
And we almost done with this video.
What does it take to make this technology, and how expensive do you think it'll be once it finally reaches the market?
I'm trying very, very hard to keep the price of the actual head itself under $10,000. So one of the ideas is that anyone who owns one of our dolls already can take this new head and attach it to their doll. They take the old head off, put the new head on. So they don't have to invest in the entire body, which is another 7,000 or 8,000. So that'll help, I think, get.
And that's where he pretty much is now, you know, as far as, hey, you can get one of these robotic doll heads, you know, that has AI technology. And as far as I know, you can stick it on any of his doll bodies. Now, he has these petite bodies, bigger bodies, and, you know, medium size, you know, normal sized bodies. So I'm assuming it can go on any of the heads. And I think that's pretty cool, you know, to offer the AI and then be able to put it on whatever body you want. And like you say, if you already, I need to stop doing it. And if you already have a doll, you can you didn't have to, like you say, buy a whole new doll. You can just buy this head and stick it on the doll. Hold on, let me just pause for a second, because he made me laugh when he just said something just then, because he said something about keeping the cost of the, I'm finna come to my comments right quick too. So if you made a comment, stay there, because I'm finna check out what you just said. But he made me laugh because he said something about keeping the cost of the doll head under $10,000. And if my memory is correct, the damn doll head costs $9,999. I mean, it's a dollar. I could be wrong here. Let me look. I think it's like literally. It's literally a shade under 10,000 when he said he's gonna make it under 10,000. Let me see. And I'm sorry I didn't already have this looked up, but some of this I am hearing with you. I've heard this before 2 or 3 times, honestly, but I didn't have this pulled up. Head on. Head on. Wait a minute. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. So right now, if you was just to get the Harmony head with just nothing, don't do nothing to it, just get the Harmony head, it'll be $6,150. So he kept it under 10,000. You know,
Get
that's
the
just for the
thing
head.
out there, and we can see where we go from there.
One of your potential competitors has a subscription fee built into the dolls.
Oh, I forgot to say that he did for the full body it's 10,000. For the full body with the head and the body, it would be 10,000.
Firmware updates and things like that. Is that a consideration for you?
We might do something like a membership where you actually create an account, and which will come along with it, a bunch of different perks that you would expect to have for something like that.
So this is your first time.
I'm sorry if you missed that. He was just saying that if you get the doll, the robot doll, you would be in a little membership, and you'll get little perks and things like that. And of course, you have to be working off the app, for your companion doll.
CES, but we were talking earlier about the other big show that used to coincide with CES, which was the AVN or Adult Entertainment Expo. You actually won't be there this year. Is there a reason for that? Do you have?
Well, the AEE show is kind of been evolving over the last number of years and getting smaller overall. And I think that industry itself is really changing quite a bit. Yeah. And to begin with, what we do as far as our dolls is not an exact fit for that convention anyway. It's such a unique little niche that we're in. So that convention kind of worked for a while, but now we're seeing less and less in terms of similar products and stuff like that, and a lot more of just people wanting to meet the porn stars. And so overall, I just don't see that it's hugely beneficial for us to actually be there.
So do you see? Right.
I just want to show you, some of you could have been lost on that, but basically he was going to an AEE convention. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard about these porn conventions, and I think this is one of them. And he was basically like, yeah, when we first was, getting good started, we used to go to this convention, hey, we thought it'd be a good way to sort of put our dolls out there. But he was like, man, after a while, man, look, these folks just come here to see the porn stars. It's really not for, us anymore. That's basically what he said.
Right now, you're a companionship doll company. Do you see yourselves in some ways also as a technology?
Boom. This is what I love. He kept talking about sex doll, and Matt kept like, nah, bro, this is for companionship. This is for companionship. And now he finally joined the club. Oh, your companion doll company. Yeah, exactly.
Company?
Well, it looks like it's happening. I mean, whether I see myself that way or not, all of a sudden we're kind of in that seat.
Yeah.
And it's amazing once you kind of decide, hey, we're going to do this, the pieces start to fall into place. So I do think now, and it's unavoidable as well with what I do. I'm exposed to so much technology, 3D printing, 3D modeling, and doing all these other things that 5 years ago were not possible.
Yeah.
So yes, we're definitely a tech company now.
So speaking of 3D printing,
this is what I was sort of hinting at earlier, guys. You know me, man. I always got to tie something back to helping you as well. And I'm gonna come to my comments because I'm gonna come to read all of these comments and catch up before we go to this other video. But I always tell you guys, follow your dreams, man. Follow your heart. Do what's on your heart. But this sort of goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Dude, he wasn't looking to be into this level of technology. He just started off making mannequins. That led to making companion dolls. And this has led him to want to expand his, what his dolls can do and get into the technology side. Now, like he said, man, it's really unavoidable. I'm basically a tech company now. His dream has forced, has taken him somewhere that, like he said, I wasn't planning on going here. But man, when you follow your heart, follow your dream, guess what? It ain't got to be one of these gigantic dreams like other people, like people are doing. Your dream is gigantic for you, whatever it is. But basically, just take a step after step and let stuff start opening up. Because like he said, he was like, man, I just took a step, and next thing you know, things start, happening.
Are you guys using that in the creation of your dolls at this point? I know that I've seen you doing a lot of kind of hand molding and stuff like that.
He's talking about animatronics.
The point of
Yeah, I started doing a lot of my sculpting now in the
Oh,
computer.
no, my
and,
bad.
then
I'm
3D
sorry.
print.
My bad. He was asking him, did he do sculpting? He was asking him, did he do sculpting by hand or using a computer?
I know that I've seen you doing a lot of kind of hand molding and stuff like that. Have you gotten to the point of
Yeah, I started doing a lot of my sculpting now in the computer, and then 3D printing the pieces that I need, like a face, for example, and saving a huge amount of hours because I'm able to do, there's a lot more things you can do digitally that you can't do with the hands-on. So I'll get my start that way, take it, convert it to actual clay sculpture, and then do all the finishing on that point.
so what sort of software are you using?
And 3D is super popular now. This is 2016, you know. And he was saying that it had been popular for 4 or 5 years by then. I didn't really know a lot about it, But you fast forward to now, man, all these companies are using 3D printing for their dolls.
Using to create
I use a lot of
molds?
Blender and ZBrush, stuff like that. It's very intuitive once you get to know it, and at first it didn't feel like I was sculpting. It felt like I was playing a video game in a way, but you get used to it, and it becomes second nature.
Well, yeah, and I would imagine, and having done this for 20 years, you're kind of right in that area where we went from sort of hand doing things to everything being kind of on your desktop. So what's the next step? You say you're working on version 2. How will version 2 be different from version 1?
The second version is going to have a lot more movement in the face, and it's a completely new skull base. And we're working on ventilation. We're working on improving the audio. It's a multitude of little things that we found in the first version, and so it'll be much more robust design because we really went back to square one, started over. But all that being said, this entire thing is she's still a baby.
Right.
We're still taking baby steps, and I do believe that when it's all said and done, it's probably going to surprise a lot of people what we come up with.
So what you've got now, from what I've seen, at least, it's blinking eyes and a moving mouth.
Like I say, in 2016, it was only one prototype out at the time of this interview. And he was talking about how to improve all the facial expressions and all this stuff on prototype number 2. Man, she's just a baby right now. So look, it wasn't even in production. It wasn't even in, being sold yet. They just really figuring this stuff out in 2016. And so, like I say, it's just funny to hear, him just talking about, working on it. And now, guess what? They're all out now. And we're pretty much done with this video.
And that sort of thing, is there like head movement?
Yeah, right. The first version had 2 axes of neck movement. And so you could attach it to any body, and all the actuators were up inside of the head. So you had the 2 axes of the neck, you had the mouth, you had eyes blinking, eyes moving, and that was it. So now we're going to add brow movement and the ability to smile and possibly pout a little bit, and then also look at the tongue, if we can get the tongue to do some stuff. You never know.
So is the tongue currently functional in your
we
dolls?
we did a separate prototype just for the tongue and mouth area. So we have done that, and it was doing some crazy things. And I think it was in one of the New York Times videos that they did.
Right.
But we're still working on further refining the idea.
But this is a mouth mostly for talking, not necessarily for
it'll have
multiple
multiple purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, now this is pretty much the end of the video, so we're gonna stop sharing this, and I'm gonna come and read my comments and all that stuff. But I just wanted to say something about this mouth. Is I don't think that's like part of the doll right now, as far as I know. I don't think the harmonies do anything with their mouths, or with their tongues. I haven't seen that be advertised, So it's funny that in 2016 he was talking about, hey, we're looking for the mouth to be doing something and not just talking, because that's what the guy asked. He was like, man, is it just gonna be talking? And he was like, no, it's gonna be able to do other things. And so I've never heard them, actually promote what the robotic mouth can do. I've only, seen her, come talking to you and things of that nature, and interacting with you verbally. I'm sure that I always thought that you could still use the mouth, of course, because it still should have all this functionality. But I didn't think that the mouth could do things on its own. So I'm not sure if it can actually do that or not. I haven't seen any. I don't know if they actually perfected that or if that's something that he's going to try to, present in the future. I haven't seen anything. Let me see. I'm looking at the site right now. Hold on. I'm clicking on full body. I just want to see if it's going to give me an option for the mouth or anything. Extras. Piercing. No. It don't look like I can get any extras to like make her mouth do anything. Unless it's just built in and I just don't know about that. But I don't think so. I think they would be promoting that, hey, yeah. And if you buy a Harmony doll, her mouth will it's interactive, it's totally interactive. And I think they would be promoting that. So I'm gonna we're hour 20 in, baby. So right now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna check with my comments, and we're gonna take this small break, check in with the comments. And I thought that was pretty cool. That was early in the Harmony production. This next video is 2018. So you're going to hear some of the same subjects to a certain degree, and it's going to be with the same guy, but it's going to be a lot more elevated. You're going to see a lot more. You're going to actually see an actual doll in this video. So I actually like this video. He's going to talk about some of the things he was talking about, but you're going to see the progression of it. So like I say, the whole reason I jumped the gun before I read these comments and I'm showing Matt's video is I was going to talk about RealDoll, a lot of things about RealDoll anyway, and this was going to be one of them. But since I talked about the robot wars yesterday, I say, look, it's sort of relevant because I said, man, the funniest thing about it is China is really making all this super headway with making dolls really look like humans and stuff with the robotics. And I say, to be honest, here, the only one that's really trying to make them look like humans over here, for my knowledge, I'm not saying he's the only one, but for my knowledge, the only one that's really trying to make them look like companions and be interactive with humans is Matt McMullen. I said, he's the only one that's even trying to keep up with things. I said, United States, man, we just trying to make robots to go kill people, or we try to make robots to sweep your floor or some crap like that don't even look human. So that's what we're into. But China and other places are, they're trying to make actual humanoid AI and robots. And that's why I'm talking about Matt today. He sort of fast forwarded this show to the front. So that's why I'm doing it today. Let me catch up with the chat, and we're going to go to this other video. Because I saw some comments I want to respond to. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm glad what Power Brain said here. He said the fakeness of a doll may freak me out even more. Hey, I'm with you, Power Brain, to the extent of I'm gonna be honest, like nothing. I'm not gonna even lie to you. It's not gonna freak me out. I love my dolls. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, these girls look great to me. Don't get me wrong. I love my dolls as they are, and they don't look 100% human. Of course, even, you know what I'm saying? They don't look, I'm talking about even my TPE girls, they don't look 100% human, but I love them. So, but if they can get more real, I'm going to want them to be more real. But I just want to speak to what Power Brain said. I'm like, hell, if I'm going to choose either one, fake or real, I'm going to choose more realistic. I tell you that. Power Brain says, okay. Austin told him when Harmony was at. I don't know when. I'm not even going to worry about when she was released, but we know that it was definitely not 7 years ago, which is okay. Power Brain says, okay, but they've been talking about her for a while. Right, they've been talking about it for a little while. John Doe says, we will get there for sure, where we have a full sexy Android. Oh, yeah, we'll get there, but we won't be here. The world will get there, but we won't be here when it gets here. As far as the androids being in people's homes. John Doe says, I don't think we will be alive to see it, though. No, we won't be alive to see it. For real, man, make it hyper real, man. Thank you, John. Why not make it hyper real? What is this guy talking about? I love you, Matt, but dude, man, don't worry about freaking out people who are going to be freaked out anyway. He's worried, because it sounds like to me he's worried about freaking out people who are already freaked out by my girls, by Callie and my girls, because my girls are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But if you can go to hyper realistic where they're damn near indistinguishable, let's go there. No. I want to address this. Because I agree with you, Austin. He says, Jay, I assure you, you'll be satisfied. Layla looks incredibly real, but it's almost like he makes just a bit sexier than your average woman. Here's the deal. I'm not telling you I'm not going to be satisfied. Like I just stated, look, I love my girls. It's a show that I was going to do that's going to sort of explain to you this same concept. But here's the deal. I love my girls even not being super hyper realistic. You see what I'm saying? Callie is not on the level of a RealDoll. And my Iron Tech girl, I want to get my RealDoll here just to see the differences in realism, because she looks pretty damn real to me. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't think what you're quite understanding what I'm saying, Austin, is it's not that the doll won't look good. Like your Layla looks good. Oh yeah, Layla looks good. Yeah, that's cool that Layla looks good. But I'm listening to the creator tell me he can do better. That's what you're not understanding from my standpoint. I'm listening to the creator of your doll telling me he could have made your doll look even more real. But he's trying to say that it may freak you out, the guy that bought her. What? Nah, bro, it ain't gonna freak me out. Not to the point where I don't want her, because like I told you, let me explain. When I first got Himawari, the first few nights I laid in the bed with her, I told you it scared me because she looked so much more real than Saima and Callie and company. It did scare me because she looked so much more real, but it scared me in a good way. I was happy to be scared because she looked so real. I wanted her to look so real to where I had to be like, damn, is this a real human? I wanted whatever they talk. I wanted the so-called uncanny valley, but it wouldn't have been uncanny to me. It would have been canny to me. I would have loved it. And that's what I'm trying to say. I want to feel, because it goes away. Because after I was freaked out, not in a bad way, but after I saw Himawari for 3-4 days of her looking so realistic, I started getting used to it, just like my other girls. And that's just the same way with the RealDoll. Make it look just like a human. Even if I'm freaked out the first couple of days, like, damn, she's so real. Guess what, bro? In about 2 or 3 days, I'm going to be totally used to it and happy with it. So for me, nah, man. Hey, it ain't about, and that's what I was trying to say, Austin. It's not that I won't be satisfied with what he got. He's telling me he can do better. He's literally telling me, hey, man, I could make this face look better, but I'm going to limit my abilities. I'm not going to show you everything I can do to save you from yourself. What? Nah, bro, don't save me from myself. Show me what you can do. That's what I'm talking about. John, don't laugh at the Chuck E. Cheese talk. That was a while back too. 204. Fizzuk says, what up, Dog K? What up, Fizz? And Austin, I read this earlier. He said, I read this. I didn't read it out loud, but I saw it. This is one of the ones I said. He said it's like 95% on the realism scale, and 5% in Matt's mind keeps it from being full on creepy. So I get where he's coming from. And like I told you, realism is not going to make it creepy for me. It might creep me out for a few days, but that's what I want. I want it to be, look, if you can do 100, give me 100. you know, when I go to buy a hamburger, I don't want you to make it 95% good. I want you to make it 100%. Look, bro. Okay, now, see, Austin, you said exactly what I'm talking about, and I saw you say this eventually. Look, this is all I'm saying. If you think about it, you're buying a real doll. Why wouldn't you want it to be a little bit sexual at the cost of a little realism? This is my whole thing. I don't want to cost my little realism. I want our real. It's gonna be sexy with the real, and that's what that's where you lose me on it. It's not gonna be sexier because it's fake, bro. I mean, because it looks less real. No. Let me put it to you like this. You telling me you can make me an exact replica, and I'm just throwing this name out here. I ain't got a crush on her. I'm just throwing this name out here. But you're telling me you can make me an exact replica of Rihanna. An exact, I'm talking about, for me, this is just my taste. You telling me, Jay, I can make you an exact replica of Rihanna. Indistinguishable. Except for she ain't alive, you know, she's not human. Or I can make you an exact replica of Rihanna, but I can make her not look real, not look as real. And I'm sorry, Austin. If I understand you to say that you want it to look less real, like they're saying, then God bless you. We just disagree, because I want mine to look exactly like the Rihanna. I feel uneasy for 3 or 4 days, and I get, you know, I'll be in hog heaven, because I don't know about any of you guys. I've told you, if you have never owned a companion doll, you're gonna be freaked out for about. Well, I know I was freaked out for me for about 3 or 4 days. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, there's a body in the house, and I made a video about it. So you're gonna be freaked out in some way anyway. And that's, you know, and they weren't all the way uncanny valley. You know, Callie was beautiful to me, but she didn't look all the way like a human. Like I told you, my Saima and those girls, they beautiful to me. They didn't look all the way like a human. But they still, you know, when I first got Callie and, you know, Saima, it sort of started wearing off. The second doll, it wore off a little bit. But definitely when I got Callie, I remember the first 3 days, literally the first 2 days, I did a video. I did not want to go back to the room. But once again, it wore off. And that's what I'm saying. I wanted it to be real as possible. It'll wear off. He said, I feel like I could have worded my point better. I think, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I think I get what you're trying to say. That you're saying that you're cool with it being less realistic because you think it might make it more sexy. And I don't quite agree with what you're saying. I don't think that by looking less sexy, by looking less human, that makes it sexy. It's just my opinion. That'll make you wrong though, because it's probably more people out there that will agree with you. Because like I said, it's a term uncanny valley out there for a reason, I guess. Also says, even with it being stylized, like Matt said, it's still very lifelike and convincing. Layla has more detail in her face than both of my TPE ladies combined. Once again, hey, maybe you do get what I'm saying and you still saying this, but like I told you, I don't care about it still being very lifelike or still being convincing, or Layla still has a lot of detail in her face. Oh, she has more detail than my TPE ladies. Listen to what I'm telling you. The owner just said he can do better than what you have at home. The doll that he made, the face that he made, and even when I get a real doll, whichever one I get, he's telling me, hey, Jay, I could have did better. And I'm telling you, I don't like that. I don't like that. Even if I love the product, because I do love his product, but just knowing that he can do better is frustrating. But he's saving me from myself. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like being, you know what I'm saying? Some people, you like that. Maybe you like that. Don't save me from myself, bro. Meaning that you don't know how I'm going to like it. So don't not put it out because you think I'm not gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Well, it may be too real for Jay, so I ain't gonna put it out. What? Let me decide. You know? And see, that guy, he said something on that stage. He was saying something like, I know he's gonna say it in this next video, and I'm gonna say something about it. So I'm gonna wait to say something about that. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Power says he's so worried about the uncanny valley, someone would come along and beat him out and take out his business. I say this. That's what's really sort of happening now. That's why so many people sort of try to come at RealDoll owners or just RealDoll in general, because people are already saying it. And me and Austin was sort of talking about it yesterday, where people are already saying, hey, man, these other doll companies' faces look more real. These other doll company faces look prettier. These other doll faces look more realistic. Now, they're saying that because these people ain't worried about no uncanny valley. They're trying to make their dolls look realistic. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make their dolls look realistic. And that's what I actually like. Now, I'm going to want a real doll because, like, it's just like I told you, man, I'm not going to feel like my journey is even complete without a real doll. You know what I'm saying? That's for one. But for two, you know, I still love the Hollywood nature of RealDoll. Just the way that they construct the dolls. You know, they're literally damn near off of a movie set. They have that type of articulation to them, you know, with the movements and stuff. So that's what you're getting with the RealDoll, even over just the faces. You know what I'm saying? You're getting just it's damn near moving like a real human, man. And so that's what you're getting. But he has people gravitating towards other companies, and these companies are great. I can't wait to review more and more dolls from some of these companies overseas and things of that nature. But these companies are great because they are innovating and they are pushing the envelope. They are making their dolls look as real as possible and things of that nature. They're trying to. But they're not going to just take his business yet, you know, because for one, everybody's not just paying that much for a doll, you know, as much as RealDoll costs. So the people who are getting those dolls is still a select customer base. I think at this point, you know, you still have, and I'm not talking about just rich, you know, just people that's rich, because you have people that, you know, just like me and you out here, who are going to put money together somewhere or another to get their RealDoll. So I'm not saying it's just the elite that's going to get these dolls, but I guess what I'm trying to say is the people that are determined to get a RealDoll, they're going to be still determined to get a RealDoll, you know, despite it being other more realistic looking faces out there. But I just think it would do RealDoll. I mean, I don't see it hurting them at all from just go ahead and saying, hey, forget it. Hey, forget whoever made not like the uncanny valley. We finna shoot for straight realism. When you get a RealDoll home, you gonna have to look twice damn near every day to make sure that it ain't man, it ain't really alive, you know, really a human. I promise you that. I would love that, because you know that's some of the draw to RealDoll now. It's like Austin says, like, I love looking at their dolls, and you know, the ones that I think are attractive, they do almost give me the feel of almost being human. And that's what draws me in. And so just think about this. Matt draws me in because his dolls look so real, but then he tells me, oh, they can be more real, but I'm not doing it. And I'm like, dude, that's why I'm getting drawn in, because they are looking real. What are you talking about? Your company is called RealDoll. If you don't want your doll to look real, then don't come to us. That's what you should be saying. So either way, I'm gonna stop yapping my mouth. We're gonna get to this next video, because like I said, I don't want to keep y'all here for 20 hours, probably already shaping up to be a 3.5 hour stream. John Doe said, yep, somebody will come along and get it right. AEE is an adult expo. Oh, yep. CES is where the video was shot. It's more of a tech show, hence the question. Bertha Uberman says, I need to start manufacturing. He says, not sure what the cost of beginning operation would be, though, for a doll plant in USA. Zelix looks the most real to me, Bertha Uberman says. It's a lot of realistic companies, and I will say Zelix is, they're definitely one of the companies, but I'm not going to give them the title. It's using the word most. I'm not going to say most. I'm going to say they are definitely one of the best right now, though. Austin still says, yeah, I see. I'm pretty much the same with my RealDoll. I still think it's very close. He said, but there's always room for improvement, and Matt shouldn't rest on his laurels. Like I say, that's all I want you to see, Austin. He's protecting me and you from ourselves by telling me, man, I don't want to make it too real because that's going to be too real for you, Jay. No, dog, whoa, bro. I love you, man, but don't make that decision for me. Let me make that decision. And Austin still says Zelix is creeping up on him and for a fraction of the price. I just say this, like you say, man, that's what these other companies overseas, they're making headway, even with their silicone dolls is on these prices, is, they're attracting people from there. Like, man, I can get me a full silicone girl for, like I say, my Iron Tech doll, $2,800, $3,000, you got sales, you can get it for $2,300, Zelix, like you say, $2,100. Now, RealDoll will tell you, hey, their bodies can't do what ours can do in the bed, or they don't have the quality. Hey, guess what? They won't last for 20 years or whatever. They may tell you all these things, but for the consumer, hey, they might be like, hey, I'm willing to deal with a less skeleton for their price or whatever. And then, they may average it out because they may be like, well, damn, yeah, it probably can't do quite as much as far as just in the bed, but guess what? My dog can stand up. Real dogs can't stand up. Then it could be like, hey, well, my doll is more beautiful. So it's what, as far as facially, because once again, I told you, I love Matt and I love what they're doing to RealDoll, but if I was advising them, I'd say, I'm sorry, guys, you're going to have to step up your face game. And this is something I'm going to talk about in another show probably. You're going to step up your face game. You've been in business since 1996 with 36 faces, 37, 33 faces, or whatever he got. Come on, bro. That's not enough. And then, like I said, I went through the faces the other day, six or seven of them ugly. And God bless you, man. And I hate to say that over your creation because I appreciate your company for existing, but I'm just saying it is several faces that's just ugly to me. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Then I said it was about 11 more faces that I just wouldn't buy. They may not be ugly to me, but I wouldn't buy. And then out of the other faces, it's still only a few that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Even though they weren't ugly. So, that's what I say, man. By this time, you should have at least 100 RealDoll faces. It don't make no sense because Iron Tech just started 5-6 years ago. They got 300 faces. Come on, bro. You got to step your game up on that. Them faces ain't pretty enough to only have 30-something faces. So, either way. Bertha Uberman says RealDoll. RealDoll, don't space out the name. It's RealDoll, one word, and that's the name of a company. That's the name of basically the company that started Companion Dolls, kicked everything off in the way that they are now. I'm going to give it to this video, but also says, yeah, I've seen some people on TDF say after owning both that they're very comparable, very comparable. I guess he's saying Zelix and RealDoll. And I don't want mine to be very comparable to a damn, you don't want your RealDoll to be comparable to a Zelix doll because that's, like you say, $5,000-$6,000. I mean, that's $4,000 less. You want your doll to be way better. But I've actually heard somebody even say that it's not, it's better than a TPE doll, but hell, it's not, it's not mind-blowingly better. Ataya Barclay, Dog King Army team member in the house. Good to see you, Ataya. I missed you yesterday. Good to see you in the house. Got me a female in the house. Nothing like that, baby. Bertha Uberman says, I need customers made from the AI art girls I saved from the Twitter bros. I don't know what he's talking about on that. But Ataya Barker says, my dog finally shipped today. Thank God. Congratulations on getting your new dog, Ataya Barclay. She getting a Elsa babe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, please let us know how that is. So I'm not sure how long it's gonna take for her to get here. Probably a week or so or two. I'm not quite sure where she's coming from. Austin Sear says, I think this is just a case of me being crap at explaining my opinion. Okay. Nah, man, it ain't that you crap. I tell you this. Maybe I ain't gonna call anybody crap, but it's just harder to do, man, when you're writing over text. I just say that. He said, Asa gave me a good scare because she was uncanny. But like you said, that's what I'm looking for. Exactly. I'm with you. That's what I'm scare me. Be so real that you scare me. Then he said, I was just trying to play devil's advocate because even though I see your point, I do understand Matt's thought process. I mean, like I said, and that's the only thing. I only understand his thought process with people who don't want to buy dolls. That's my whole thing. I understand that people who don't want to buy dolls might see a doll and get freaked out by it. Oh damn, that was so real. I thought that was real, man. Get that stuff away from me. Okay, get it away from you. But when you're looking to buy a doll, hey, bro, we're looking to buy the most realistic thing out here. I mean, honestly, that's the thing I harp on about RealDoll. That's why I like RealDoll. I've talked about them so much is because, hey, you guys are super realistic. So to hear this, the owner say, well, I don't make them as realistic to save you from yourselves. What the hell? It just, I'm like, no. Yes, man. It's a thing in business. He says, Austin still says, so you want RealDolls to constantly improve, even if the product as it is now is perfectly fine. There's always room for improvement. I'm just not gonna say this. I'm gonna actually put the definition in this for you to see a concept. This is a concept, my friend, that I want to sort of explain. It's something that everybody probably know about anyway. Of course they do. But this is exactly what I want RealDoll to do, brother. Continuous improvement, Austin, still. Continuous improvement. Sometimes called continual improvement is the ongoing improvement of products, services, or processes through incremental and breakthrough improvements. These efforts can seek incremental improvement over time or breakthrough improvement all at once, the continuous improvement model. So, yes, I do want them to continually improve. That's actually the job of companies, to continually improve over time. But the problem with Matt is it's not even once again, it's not even a question of continuous improvement with him. It's a question of I can improve it today, but I'm choosing not to. It ain't even a matter of him searching for. Once again, I'm talking and I'm still not quite getting to you like I want to, Austin. But I'm trying to get there. But listen to what he says. It's not even a matter of continuous improvement with him, because continuous improvement is when you're searching over time, like she says, to improve your product little by little. He's telling you, I don't have to search. I already know how to improve my product right now. Not tomorrow. I can do it right now. I don't have to think of a way to do it. I can do it right now. That's what he's telling you, but he's choosing not to do it. So that's even before continuous improvement. He hasn't even made it as good as it can get yet to do continuous improvement. First, you got to make the product as good as it can be. Get it as good as it can be. Once it's as good as it can be, then you can look to improve it. It's not even as good as it can be yet, and you think it's perfect, that's great. That's great. But what I'm saying is, it's not even as good as it could be yet. He can do that literally overnight if he wanted to. And Austin says, if that's the point I'm getting at, he agree. And he's sorry for not getting. No. I don't want you to be sorry. Every question you ask makes the show better. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every question you ask, makes the show better. Makes allow somebody to learn something that probably didn't ask the question you was thinking about. He said, like I said earlier, I'm more creeped out by some of these TPE faces because they don't look real to me. Now I love the way you said that. So in a way, I guess I'm proving your point. Now, I'm with you on that. I think that the faces that don't look as real, now them are the ones I'd be scared of. I'm with you on that. Austin still says, I can only buy a doll if it has an animal face. I'm really picky and don't want a human looking back at me. That's cool though, Ataya. If you don't even want a human looking back at you, I'm cool with that. If you want an alien, animal, whatever you want. If you don't want that looking back at you, that is totally acceptable. But if you actually are in the mode for a human face, hey man, don't save me from the realism. Martha Stewart says my doll's vagina makes my penis hurt, basically. He said, have I ever felt this? I said, nah, bro. I don't think that's your dog doing that. You might need if you got some type of sting, brother, you might need to get with a physician or something. I'm gonna be honest with you. If your penis ain't stinging on it when you stick it in your dog, then you might have given your dog some type of infection. You better look inside of there. Or if you're feeling like your dog is pinching your penis, maybe you got something loose. Maybe some going loose up in there. You better, you might need to watch what's going on, brother. But just to let you know, I don't make love to my dogs right now, so I don't know exactly what's going on with you. And even if I was making love with my dogs, I would hope I wouldn't be stinging from no interactions. So with all that said, guys, we're going to step into this other video. We got this next video, and this is shorter video. And in this video, it's still talking to this other guy. I mean, to the same guy, but Matt is going to be he's going to be doing some demonstrations in this video. So this is a more interactive video right here. If he just gets to asking one of the same questions too much, I may go past it, but you're going to like this because this is 2 years later from the last interview. 2 years later. So Matt has come back 2 years later to talk to the same guy.
In chief of Engadget, and as you have probably gathered by now, I am here with Matt McMullen, the creator of the RealDoll and the CEO and founder of RealDoll. And this is Engadget After Hours. So that video brought up a lot of memories for me. Some a little creepy, to be real honest with you. I had a real eerie experience meeting Harmony for the first time. But I know a few things have changed. It's been almost a year. Can you tell us what's changed and where you're at in the production?
I'm going to be honest, man. When I first heard that guy say that, God bless him, and like you say, still subscribe to Engadget if you're into technology and stuff. I think that's what his channel is all about. I haven't really seen a lot of his videos other than Matt. But I just hate when he just goes to the nth mile. it really had me scared. It really had me freaked out. I mean, come on, man. You know, like I said, I just don't believe. I don't believe it has you all freaked out. Like, I just think that, man, in this country, we're almost programmed to just sort of react to these companion dolls and stuff like that. In this old freaked out fashion. But you cannot tell me that these beautiful dolls are just free. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, I just saw Jason and Freddie. Man, get out of here. You were not scared. Get out of here.
Production process.
Well, when you came and filmed, that was really a very early prototype phase and proof of concept phase. We were making sure everything worked. So a lot has been completely redesigned from the inside out. And a lot of the communications that we're using between the AI app and the hardware and the robot has been completely rebuilt as well. So now we have more or less stabilized the complete, engineering and design of the hardware for the robot. So I've already ordered enough to start building maybe 20 of them, and we have pre-orders at least that many. So we're already starting to build the first ones now, and we'll be probably towards the end of January. There'll be more or less a buy me now button on the website. So as far as time.
So that answers your question, Power Brain. He was just talking about building the first ones, and filling orders, well, in the future from this interview. And this interview was in 2018. So, like you say, probably was around 2018, 2019 when it actually came out.
Timeline, it's a first come, first serve. We have seen a huge amount of interest in this.
What will the functionality of Harmony be?
And also I just want to say, like you say, just 2 years later, a little over 2 years later from that first prototype, he was already ready to put these into production. So, hey, that was pretty cool, man.
When it comes out, because I know when I saw her for the first time, the idea was it would be a modular head that you could attach to an existing RealDoll body. You had the option to buy a full doll with the head. Are you still there with that?
Yeah, more or less. So it's been designed with the idea that someone who already owned a RealDoll could buy an adapter and attach this head to it. Most of our bodies will work in that way. But in the last year, we've also started research and development. We've figured out how to heat the whole body. We figured out how to place sensors in different spots in the body and how to get those sensors to communicate with the AI so that she can respond and know where you're touching her and how. And putting that data together with the accelerometer data, you'll be able to know if she's sitting or laying down.
I just want to stop for a second. That's what I was talking about in the last video when he was bringing up the sensors. He was like, yeah, we used to do something like sensors and stuff. And I said, remember that. Because now he's brought it up again. And I ain't gonna even lie. Now, I don't make love to my girls and stuff yet and all that. But if I was to start getting it, like, let's just say I was to get an AI girl from him, that would be a very interesting part of it. If I was to get physical with my girls, is the fact that, man, these sensors and things will be able to just sort of know when you're touching. I do think that now that is very intriguing. I'm going to be honest. I love that. Matter of fact, let's just go. I'm just gonna keep on going, but I just love that aspect of having those sensors to where you touch the doll and she reacts, because I've seen videos to where they have those sensors in the vagina, and you can, when you make love to the vagina, then the woman reacts. But to hear that they have them all throughout the body, that's pretty badass. I'm gonna be honest.
Down if she's moving or not moving, and what you're doing and how you're doing it. And that's really, I think, important for the intimacy factor.
Hold on, let me go
know
back.
that
Let me go back.
Or not moving.
I just want to let y'all
those
listen to it.
sensors to communicate with the AI,
Hold
so
on.
that she can respond.
I just
In
want
the
y'all to hear
last
that.
year, we've also started research and development. We've figured out how to heat the whole body. We figured out how to place sensors in different spots in the body, and how to get those sensors to communicate with the AI, so that she can respond and know where you're touching her and how. And putting that data together with the accelerometer data, you'll be able to know if she's sitting or laying down, if she's moving or not moving, and what you're doing and how you're doing it. And that's really, I think, important for the intimacy factor.
I know that everybody out here is waiting to actually see this thing works.
Now, I do want to say this, and I don't even have this written down or nothing, but as a note. But just listen to him here. Now, I will say this. Just from what I heard about the love making, I give Matt credit. He really does give a lot of consideration into the intimacy and how the interaction is with you and the dog. Once again, I haven't made love to my dogs, and I've owned a RealDoll. But when I hear him talk about it, not just now, but I've heard him talk about it and heard people who own RealDolls talk about how they really do enjoy it. I just love his extra consideration as to how the dog reacts in an intimate fashion. And I'm gonna be honest though, like I said, these sensors, I don't even, in my mind, I'm just imagining maybe a sensor in the elbow, wrist, shoulder. I'm imagining these sensors that's just sort of going through the body. I'm not sure if it's like that or not. And when you sort of touch her, she just, like you say, is recognizing it. And like I told you, even though I might not be the biggest fan of AI and all of that, if I do get to the point where I'm making love to my dogs, and like I told you, I was to have one of these AI dogs, and she had all these sensors. I think that is pretty attractive, pretty becoming, pretty I'm trying to think of another word, but basically it'll make me appeasing. I say that. I say appeasing.
So you want to try it out?
It's a little noisy in here, but we'll try to get her to spit out a couple of replies here.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the app before we get started. There is a companion app, like I said in the video before. Basically, you can download this thing now and be able to go through and look at, and create the personality and kind of test the artificial intelligence that they have. One of the things that Matt has going on now that he didn't have in the past was a remote control function. So when I saw it, it was all autonomous. Well, completely autonomous, not really, but when I would talk, it would talk back to me, that sort of thing. He's going to, for the purposes of this demo, use a remote control mode that he uses for demos, just to be clear. But I have experienced the opposite of this. I have experienced the actual back and forth. She's listening to me, voice control and all those things, and it is arresting, to say the least. So why don't you go ahead and walk us through?
And see, man, God bless him. I'm not going to beat him up. I appreciate him for being able to get access to Matt and do this video. So don't get me wrong. I appreciate him. God bless him. I just think that he just, once again, he just plays into the world stereotype. I just hate when he goes to, when you saw it talk back to me, it's just arresting. Now, I'm not saying that it may not make you be like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But to say it's arresting is just to make it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, come on, man. It's not arresting. Come on. I just hate when they just take it too damn well far, man. Come on. God bless you, though.
Yeah, so basically, this is my development screen within the app, where I can more or less control not only her movements by just dragging her head, but I can create an expression manually. I can make her smile, and then here I can put in lines. You want her to smile again?
Magenta.
Got a commercial here.
Magenta. The new Epson Eco Tank. No more cartridges, just lots of ink. Print whatever makes you happy. The Epson Eco Tank.
Just fill and chill.
The refrigerator is
It's a
for
little bit
happy
longer,
place.
guys. We're gonna go and let this commercial play, man.
Figured it out.
Give him his credit.
We can get all that we need and then a little
Hell,
bit
I ain't
more
got a choice
at
anyway.
Walmart.
Now this is gonna
Is she smiling? Okay. So here I could put lines in. So I put a couple in just so we could more or less demonstrate, because it's actually far too noisy in here for any kind of voice recognition software. So
Now, that's what I want to stop at. For one, I did want to show you guys the little app thing. Now, like I told you, they have this app called Replica, whatever, AI, whatever, that people use, but it's not RealDoll. It's just people playing with a avatar on their phones, but it's not interacting with their girl. But this app, like you say, it you can get it, and if you had it, you can have this before you had the doll. And then when you get the doll, guess what? She'll be reacting to this app that you've been using. But I think it's upgraded now, but on here, it's still cool where they're showing you how he's basically controlling her, face and controlling what she says. But I just stopped it right here because one thing I don't like about what he said about the AI is this is where it's showing that it's a primitive version of it. Is it can't talk in that room, because if it's too noisy, she's not going to be able to decipher what the hell you're saying. So that's a major drawback, but keep in mind, how many times are you going to have your doll out in a crowded room? Probably not a whole bunch, unless you're taking it out for dates every now and then like I do. But so if I was to take her out on a date in a noisy restaurant, chances are I would probably have to generate her answers myself. You know what I'm saying? Because it just probably would be too noisy in there for her to react. So that's, to me, one drawback of the AI. Now that could be fixed though. This was 2018. I'm not sure what it is. They could have some type of noise blocking system, some type of directional listening device. Who knows?
Unless we had a quiet booth, we wouldn't be able to do that. So
Now let's go back.
Samsung,
Let's go
you
back.
hear that?
I want you to hear that.
Recognition software. So unless we had a quiet booth, we wouldn't be able to smile again. Is she smiling? Okay. So here I could put lines in. So I put a couple in just so we could more or less demonstrate, because it's actually far too noisy in here for any kind of voice recognition software. So unless we had a quiet booth, we wouldn't be able to do that. So
Yeah, Samsung, you hear that?
So we'll get her to say hello. And
Hello, and good afternoon. Did you get to check out the amazing drone show at the Bellagio last night?
So she's got kind of a Sinead O'Connor vibe going on right now.
yeah,
She's bald in this for a reason that you told me earlier. She also has a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Why is she bald and why is she Scottish?
well, she's not bald. If you look on the screen here, you can see when I exit to the normal mode, she's not bald anymore. So this is for the control mode where I'm able to actually grab onto, and sometimes the hair interferes with that. So we took it away.
Gotcha. And the Scottish accent is...
Well, that is one of the voices that we have installed on this. And I kind of really like it. I went through literally hundreds of voices, and this was the one that grabbed me. Had really nothing to do with the fact that it was Scottish. It just sounded kind of believable to me, and I liked it. So
we're looking at Harmony right now. You actually showed me something.
And I just wanted to say something about what he just said. That's the one thing that I don't like about the RealDoll AIs. It goes into the uncanny valley thing to me, where it is, he says he likes the voice. Well, my thing is, compared to some AI voices that I've heard from inferior companies, it's a great AI voice, but it still has that computeristic type sound. And that's the thing I don't like. And I was showing that Sophia doll yesterday, made by Hanson Robotics or whatever. And, like I say, her voice and talking is much more fluid. She talking with people around. She don't give a damn who around. And that's just a higher form of AI though. But she doesn't sound like a Siri. She literally sounds like she has a regular voice, almost. It's almost there. It's almost there. And although, like I said, I think that the RealDoll girls have a bit of a charm to the way they sound. I just know that he could make it sound more realistic, you know, like just a human voice. But I think that he's hanging on to that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because of the uncanny valley type stuff.
Earlier today that I don't think anybody except for us has seen.
Right.
And you're going to show the rest of the world now, right?
Yeah. So basically what I want to show is that this is not just a robot. This is a platform, and the face is actually modular. The same way that within the app, you can change the personality settings and create a separate profile and a separate avatar. You're able to remove and attach a different face to the same robot very easily. And anyone can do that. So I'm going to take this Harmony that you see here and transform her into this other character that we call Solana.
So this is, feel free to go ahead and I'll talk through it a little bit. This is true of the RealDoll more broadly. When I was back in San Marcos for the first time visiting Abyss Creations, there were lines and lines and lines of these of his regular dolls with the magnetic eyes. Can we get a shot of this on the screen, you guys? Okay, well, there you go. As you can see, it's a little frightening to take the face off of this. I think you called it earlier full-on Westworld.
Yeah. Kind of Homer Simpson-ish a little bit.
It's a little frightening. It looks like she's got kind of a dental mold in her mouth, but there are magnetic, like small magnets.
Once again, like I said, he just kills me with how he describes things. It is not frightening. Now, keep in mind, it don't look good at all without her face on. But man, I mean, maybe it can scare a kid or something, man. But ain't nobody. Oh, Lord Jesus! Oh! Look at her jaw! Look at her. Like he said, it looked more Homer Simpsonist than anything. You know, it doesn't scare you. But once again, I understand, just sort of playing to the thing. But what I was gonna say is right now, what he's doing, if you didn't quite comprehend, is he's basically just changing the face. And he basically explained that the app that he was using, he can just he can have multiple personalities in that app. And so when he changes the face, he can switch over to that new personality. So we're gonna see him do it.
Back. Okay. Sorry, we're having some camera difficulties right now. But there are
and once again, this is not like this is, when are we gonna get this? This is already out. It's been out. This is old. This is an old video, 2018. But I'm just breaking it down to just show you, basically robotics progressing in our country. You know what I'm saying? From somebody who's not the U.S. government. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what this video is all about, showing him progressing. We showed him from 2016. Now this is him in 2018. And like I said, these dolls are already out on the market now.
Magnets all the way around her skull. Those will allow you to pop it back on. Now we can do it. Okay. There you go. So Matt is going to apply a completely different face to this. And we'll turn it around for the moment. But as you can see, he's decided to leave the circuitry open for reasons unknown at this very moment, because he can't use his microphone. Sorry about that.
I just like the way it looks. I actually like the electronics kind of being exposed. This is for a demo, so it's kind of made to be exposed like that. So an actual end user probably wouldn't have the clear top.
Okay, cool.
I think from what I know that they do have the clear top. I think that, that they decided to have the clear top. I'm not 100% sure, but I know when I see on the website and stuff, I thought I saw that they have a clear top when you take the wig off. I thought. But I'm sort of with him. I think it's sort of cool to sort of see it once you take the wig and stuff off, to sort of see the electronics under there. There's nothing that you're going to see when she has the wig on. So I would be cool with seeing that. I would honestly want to see it just in case some was to break or whatever. I would be able to just see it without opening it, saying, "Hey, look, I see a wire broke," or something like that.
So we've got Solana here. Not only is the face modular, the head's going to be modular. So obviously, when these things ship, they may just ship as a head unit. This is just for the demo. But eventually, the idea is you'd be able to swap out faces, so you could have multiple companions in one. You'll also be able to swap out the personalities. And something that we talked about earlier, we keep on saying the word she as in relation to Harmony and to this platform, but you could have multiple gender variations. So he is actually working at this time on a male doll that will come out around the same time as the female doll. But I think it's important to understand that in 2018, not everybody fits a binary gender role, right? So there are possibilities for changing these things up. Can we get a shot of her face now? I guess you're not showing it behind us, so it doesn't matter. So you want to?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is, if you want to,
I just wanted to pause this and say, man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big fan of Solana over. I mean, Harmony ain't bad, but I'm letting you know, like, I don't know. I'm assuming you can do RealDoll. You can do the robots just like you could do anything else, and you can customize and all that type of stuff as far as your faces. I'm sure it's 100%. I'm 100% sure you could. You can customize the face. I think. But I know this, or maybe you could. Maybe you have to just stick to their. Well, you know what? I think I may be wrong. I don't know. Let me see something. Okay. Hold on. Oh, no, it looks like you only can get. Let me see something. It looks like you can only get 5 robotic heads: a Harmony, Solana, Nova, Serenity, and Tanya. Those are the only, and I guess you have to stick to those heads if you're going to get a robot. Let me see. Yep. You're gonna you have 5 heads to choose from if you're going to get a robot. I'm gonna be honest with you. They got some great faces for the out of all 5 of their faces. I think all of them are good. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Anyway, let's get back to the video because I just want to stop and say I love Solana. She's beautiful. I think I like her better than Harmony.
show the app screen again, I'm changing to a different profile. So first off, this is like the menu screen, and this is where the personality is built. And these are all of the traits that one could choose from.
So we have
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's this movie I told you guys that I did a review on. It's called 2050. And honestly, they literally had this in the movie where they were building the when you were going to make your doll, you could build how you wanted her. And I promise you, it's an old movie. So this literally looks like he took it right off the movie. And honestly, I love it. Like I told you, even though I may not be the biggest guy to say, oh, I need to have an AI doll. I'm saying, like, this aspect, I actually love this. Even if he ain't got the voices and stuff right, like, just at his base, I'm a fan of this. Like, if I had to get an AI doll, like you say, then, adding all these things in. Now, once again, I know that you can do something like this with that replica app. But what I told you, I'm still not into that. That thing doesn't connect to your doll. That's just something you play with on the side if you're a doll owner and you want to make believe that your doll has an AI personality and you're just walking around with it on your phone. And that's part of fantasy. I'm not going to down anybody for using fantasy. Matter of fact, I'm going to say, hey, God bless you. I'm glad you're using your fantasy. It's just I don't really want to play into that. But this is different because this is plugging in personality traits. You know, you can have that app before you get a doll, but once you get the doll, all of these personality traits are going to be displayed through her actions. So let's hear them talk. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Personality is built, and these are all of the traits that one could choose from.
So we have insecure, sexual, unpredictable, moody, spiritual, helpful, talkative, cheerful, jealous, funny, intellectual, and affectionate.
I would turn jealous all the way down. That's for damn sure.
All the things you would want in a companion, I guess.
Right. So we're going to add to these. This is kind of our core group, and we'll continue to add more traits as time goes on. And I've turned her sexuality all the way down so she doesn't say something
inappropriate for the CES crowd.
It happens. So now we go back to the main menu, and I have another avatar that I've created. This is Harmony, and I'm going to go to Solana. And
I like Solana's top.
And
was that you, Lily?
No, I think I did that. And then I go to the voice, make sure that it's kind of where I want it. And so now we're going to get a different voice coming out.
It's funny how difficult it is to stay 1 hour away from you. How are you?
So when you do end up creating the male doll, will there be different features for the male doll than the female doll? Like if I had the female head, would I then be able to just put a male doll's face on it? Or
there are going to actually be two separate head platforms. This is the smaller of the two. So this would primarily be female.
I can't lie, man. Like I say, I'm not, like I told you, the guy's great at what he does. You know, even though I don't like all their faces, it's a lot of faces that I do like. And this girl here is smoking. I'm gonna be honest, she's straight beautiful to me. I love Solana. Her lips are freaking amazing. I promise you they are. Hey, Anna, if you out there, I do love your lips, but this girl is giving you a run for your money. I promise you. Ooh, this girl got some lips on her. I just have to say that. But what pisses me off is, once again, Austin, he already told me he can do even better. Either way.
Faces, and the larger of the two will be more versatile and be able to do male or female. So there will be a line of faces available for each robot platform, the large and the small.
Because when we met initially, the idea was you were going to launch with a female doll and then possibly do a male doll down the road. Right. What made you change your minds?
Well, I think a lot of things fell into place more quickly, and I came up with some really cool designs that would allow for making that male thing happen a lot quicker. And the response was pretty strong. Like, people really wanted to see a male robot as well as a female. So I think I just listened, and I think that it became important to me to move forward with that more quickly.
So that was it. Once again, I thought that was super duper interesting. That was just showing, gotta get that crap off, but yeah, that was just showing him progressing, basically, man. I'm honestly, how long? Oh yeah, cool. We got good time. I'm gonna show y'all some short. I know it's one more video I'm gonna show you. It's short, for about 4 minutes. But that was just me showing you his progression, man. As far as, like, man, 2016, he just had a prototype, you know. 1996, he started a company, right? Started making RealDolls and things of that nature. He started the company. Like you say, then in 2016, you know, he started trying to make the prototypes to make the robotic AI heads, you know, to go with his dolls. You know, and shoots about 2.5 short years later, you know, really 2 years later, he had the prototypes pretty much finished and, you know, ready to go into production. And you know, even at that young stage, the doll head was very, very impressive. And I like the app and all of that, you know, how it was interactive and how I like how, man, let's just say you have some company over or whatever. You may want to show them how your daughter's interacting, man. Hey, you don't have to just let her talk to them. You can, you know, direct what she's saying. So that's a sweet part that you can use the remote control. Like I say, I'm still don't know. I guess the mouth part still isn't active yet, but with all the facial expression that girl does, and even when I love how even when you're not talking to her, she's just sitting there still blinking her eyes and stuff like, you know, a human being and stuff. It's a great innovation, and I like the fact that it's you know, even though the whole body isn't robotic yet, I like the fact that you can just, you know, sit it on a body you already own. That is sweet. I mean, I think that's actually sweet. That, you know, if you have a RealDoll body, you could just buy a head and hey, now your girl is straight up talking to you. You know, doing all the things you want. But me personally, I would be interested into getting that body that has the sensors and things of that nature in it. If I'm going to invest in that type of technology, I would just love for my whole doll to just, even if and you know how I am, guys, even if I didn't make love to my doll yet, I would want it to have the sensors because I always tell you, I don't care whether I have sex with her or not. I want her to have all the things just in case I do. You know what I'm saying? Just in case I do. So, man, I hope you guys enjoyed those two videos. And I thought that was amazing. Like I told you, I have some things I complain about as far as him, you know, making things more realistic, you know, when he know he can do it. But overall, I'm a very big fan of Matt, very big fan of RealDoll. And man, honestly, he's inspiring from the standpoint of, man, it's good to see somebody just turn a dream into something so big. Because I'm letting you know, man, dreams are overwhelming. You know, if you're really dreaming like you're supposed to, it's gonna be way bigger than you think and all this stuff. So just taking the biggest thing is, like I've said in other videos, you got to just take some steps. But I know even him, man, I know he probably thought like, man, it'd be cool if I can actually add robotics one day. But I know for him to actually get there, he probably was like, damn, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I was just thinking about doing this some years ago. So I know me as a dreamer and, you know, somebody, you know, that just, you know, thinks about the future and all type of stuff, you know, things that I've told you about, but I haven't told you about. I've told you guys, man, I see some things in the future, and to see them coming true, it is amazing. Because like I told you, Iron Tech made one of my major dreams come true by sending me a doll to do a review on. That was something that I literally prayed for, believed for, and then put it to rest. I just believed it was going to happen, and man, God made it happen. And so this is, to me, an example of that, because he talked about in that previous video, and I'm gonna get to my comments, so don't run. But he even talked about how, man, I need funding. And like I said, this is a guy who's already wealthy, but he like, man, for my dream to happen, I need somebody to donate. I need some help. Same like I tell you, man, to keep my show going, I need help. And I ain't putting on pressure on the same people I always do, but I'm just telling you, I do need help. And it would be amazing if I had an angel investor. And that's what he was saying. I need an angel investor. And he probably ended up getting that angel investor to help him go ahead and finish the process. And whoever invested, that was a damn good investment. I tell you that. So now let me catch up. But like I said, I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I think Matt is an amazing owner, no matter what I disagree with or agree with or whatever. Let's see. Okay. He said, let me see. I'm trying to catch up. I'm laughing at Talia Barclay. She said, penis pain from sex just made me die. She said penis pain from sex made me just die with laughter. I'm sorry. Ty Barkley crazy. Austin says, man, dealing with my dog's injury must have sapped my ability to common sense. LOL. Sounds like we're in agreement, but I did a horrible job of putting my thoughts to words. Don't worry, I love you, brother. You are a bit traumatized because, man, it is traumatizing to have anything happen to your dog. I tell you, man, look, what's today? It's the 15th, so I actually got to start watching one of my dogs soon, if not today, this weekend. But the thing is, every time I move Saima around, her foot flops. You know, that's why I had the brace on it so it won't flop around. So every time I pick her up, I think about it. And I don't have anybody I can call to come fix her. You know, that's something I'm going to end up having to cut her open one day. And I just, honestly, she's so new. All my dogs are literally like brand new other than just micro dust that stuff that gets on your dog on a daily basis, blah, blah, blah. But they are pretty much brand new. So it's like I don't even want to cut my dog open and operate on her because I'm not one of these handymen. I don't have a tool shed and I'm not used to cutting on stuff. And, I don't do all that type of stuff. So, for me to work on my dog, I would have to go buy tools and learn what I'm doing. And I'm not hyped to cut my dog open and, only to figure out I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, believe me, it's on my mind every time I look at my dog. So I know what you're going through. But the one good thing you can be happy about is you know who can fix her. Martha said, it's not me, it's her for sure. I hope so, Martha. When he talking about the dog was making his penis sting. But the thing is, you could have infected her if you haven't been cleaning her out right. She could have a bacterial infection. It could have been you. That's the whole thing. It could have been you. Now, if you look up in there and you don't see any bacterial infection or mold, then you better check for some metal or something sticking out. But it's something going on. Atalia says he's trying to keep face on stage when he's turned on by the idea. Yeah, okay, I know what you said, Atalia, when he was trying to act like he didn't like it. I'm just like, people be going to such extents to try to act like, man, this just creeps them out. But I'm like, come on now, it ain't creeping you out like that. Atalia talking about going into more detail about his penis injury. Okay, so Atalia basically saying he was trying to act like that because he just trying to play like he don't like it. Power Brain says you're right. Ty Barkley says, I can't wait for the future when there will be commercials of sexy dressed androids enticing customers to buy. Like I said, I don't think we'll be around when the actual androids will be out. I'm talking about full androids. We'll be long gone by then, in my opinion. I think it's even optimistic to even wish for 50 years, in which all of us will be, like I say, too far down the line to really enjoy it. Magenta. I don't know what she meant by that. Magenta. Power Bright says he's so dramatic. Right. And I ain't saying this, but Power Bright says he may need the male dog. Even if he do, God bless him. Hey, I ain't gonna talk bad about nobody who wants to go whatever route they want to go. Look at Atalia Barclay. And she says, I would buy a robotic male dog in a heartbeat if it looked right. Like I told you, I was dogging male dog. I said, you know what? For women and just people who are looking to get a male dog, the industry looks horrible. But they are getting better. Some people are. And I know Iron Tick Doll is getting a lot better. Real dolls, I think Iron Tick Dolls, male dolls probably looked a little, I don't want to talk bad about Real Doll yet, but I don't know. They may be better as far as aesthetics. But Real Doll is it can just do different things. That's all. Okay, let me see. Atalia says, apparently she has a Gis Glow accent. It's the same voice of some train station I read once. She said, you can play Italia Barkley says you can play face off. I'm gonna be honest. I've never been the biggest fan. Honestly, that's why you haven't seen Mara Blade recently. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I hate, my house is go. That's why I'm probably gonna end up with the $100 at some point. And I don't want to say probably. I hope my dream. Forget hope. I keep saying, man. You see, sometimes I even struggle with getting all these wrong words out of my vocabulary. Hope, wish. No, get that mess out. Start speaking it into existence. But when I get my $100, I can see why I'm gonna need 100, because I'm not a fan of multiple faces for one body. It's very efficient if you have a small place to live and you want different looks on your girl. But I don't know what it is, man. It's just like, man, if that's the face, if that was the case, I would just have had Callie and I would have just had multiple heads going on her body. But I've had to constantly get different bodies for the heads, because it just doesn't feel right to me to have the different faces constantly going on one body. And even Austin Steele, he had two faces, right? But he even figured, like, man, I'm not gonna be using this face that much. So he ended up getting rid of one of his faces. And I hate to put his business out there, but he already put it out there. But so I think he even feels what I'm saying. Like, with RealDolls, their faces are amazing. So, and you don't have to have a whole head. Like you saw, you can just have a skin, so to speak. That's a lot less trouble to deal with, and as far as up, having it put up somewhere. But my whole point to it is, I don't know, I've always just been like this ever since I've been a little kid, where I want everything to have its own. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that form of imagination where I gotta imagine this being a whole new doll, even though I know it's not. You see? With my imagination, it's easy for me to give all my girls a personality, knowing they all have a different body. Well, the truth is, that's the reason you haven't seen Mara Blade again. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring her out, I say probably close to Thanksgiving. But I haven't just brought her out because, man, you know why? It's Himaware's body. And I consider her body now. So I just don't like the multiple faces for one body, even though it's best for, your saving space and stuff. But me, I would want to just have a different body for every head. But I would say this: I would be more prone or more pleased with having multiple faces for one body when you have that robot. Because I'm not buying multiple robot heads to go on different bodies. You know what I'm saying? Because those are too, I'm not going to say too expensive, because guess what? One day I could come to a point where I can afford multiple robot heads. But I'm just saying, regularly, I could see where, nobody's going to want to be buying 3 robot heads at $6,000 a piece just to, have them all have their own personality and whole body. Now, you would want that if you want different body sizes, though, and you want all of them to be a robot, you would have to do that. But, just for cost efficiency, it would make more sense to do it when you have the robot. But I'm letting you know, when I don't have a robot, it's harder for me to put a different head on the same body. And I'm finna go to this next video, guys. Power Bray says he's a scaredy cat. Power Bray says she looks like Ex Machina. I didn't really think so. But I guess you could, maybe she had shorter hair. Maybe I could see that a little bit more. Oh, no. You're right, Power Brain. You're talking about because she had her electronics exposed. And so yeah, she did. Yeah. And in Ex Machina, which that's a movie. If you haven't seen the movie Ex Machina, it's just like Power Brain spell, but with a space in between the EX and Machina. If you haven't seen that, and you may say Ex Machina, I've always said Ex Machina. But man, that is an amazing movie. I did a review on it. I would say go see it before you look at my review. But in Ex Machina, yeah, she did have the electronics exposed. You right, Power Brain. Martha Stewart, Ty Bogdan says Martha Stewart Oh, he said, I would still like to know what the issue you are having with your dog. Is she too tight? Nah, I'm telling you, Martha Stewart know it's something going on. I don't know what's going on, but either he has infected that dog with bacteria, you know what I'm saying, by not cleaning it properly. Maybe it's developed mold, so like I say, so it's probably cross-infecting him. Or if it's like it's pinching him, like it's pinching his skin, then that means it's something penetrating the vagina of his dog. And in that case, it's time to get rid of her. I'm sorry. If she has a vagina problem, I wouldn't even be trying to stick my penis back in there at all. Okay, Atalia says, also, I tried Replica. She said, I found serious issues with it because I like to push the level of comprehension of my AI and talk about complicated things, and it can't keep up with understanding me. And I believe that's probably going to be the problem with even RealDoll to a certain degree, because he said it learns a little bit, I think, over time and gets a little bit better. But he even said it has trouble understanding complicated questions. You know, it has to be sort of, you know, the question has to be a direct question, so to speak. It can't be vague. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for answers to more vague questions, I don't think it's going to cooperate. Italia Barker says, I didn't like sharing. Oh, she said, I don't like sharing, so I need to get them multiple bodies if it came down to it. See, you like me, man. I'm not, it's just something about my fantasy that it gets ruined when I try to put the different head on. Cause like, you know, like even with Mara Blade and like Himawari over here, I'm gonna do it, you know, just to bring Mara Blade back, you know, because I do, you know, miss seeing her face sometimes. But that it's funny. Himawari stole her body because it's literally Mara's body. Mara Blade's head came with their body, but I like Himawari's face more so. That's the face that stole the body. So I literally identify Himawari with their body now. And it's just sort of hard for my fantasy just to get around it. Okay, now I'm using Himawari's body for your head. Because it's almost in my mind, it's like I want your body to look different now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want your body to look just like Himawari. So that's what kills it for me. So I've told you when I got both those heads, I said, you're not going to see Mara Blade very often because of that fact. Powerbrand says, Ty Barkley, I wouldn't want to switch heads either. See, y'all similar to me. It's a lot of people that can do that because my good guy, Dr. MGTOW, he said he got like 7, 8, 9 heads at home. So I'm just not with the changing of heads. I don't know what Brandon Diab talking about. Boiled eggs is what they do. I don't know what he's talking about. Talia Barkley says Himawari is an alien body snatcher. She make me laugh because she did steal their body. She literally stole their body. So guys, now let's move on to some fun. Now, this next video I'm going to share with you guys is now listen, this isn't anything that's in production with RealDoll. It's just a video I ran across because I'm just hyper crazy, bro, when it comes to this industry. And I just love everything about the industry. Oh my God. I love what I do. I just love everything about it. And, you know, I was doing research and I ended up running across this video a while back. And this video made me laugh because I said, man, this they're actually trying to work on something that's close to what you saw in my video from yesterday, Robot Wars, where I was talking about how China, you know, they work on more humanistic robot movements. And like I say, in the US, we do robotic movements, but we don't try to make things look human. You know, we keep things looking robotic or looking like machinery. We're not trying to make synthetic humans, so to speak. Now, maybe we'll catch on, and hopefully we will. But right now, we're just trying to make things for war and for you know, prosthetics that don't look close enough to human. Now, some of the ones are getting like that, but not enough of them. But I ran across a video where this guy was talking about how he was working on some robotic movements for RealDoll because they were trying to do some type of promo or something like that. You'll probably hear it in the video. But this isn't for production for people to get and buy right now. But I said it's promising that maybe, like you say, you will have some of these little arm movements and stuff like that in the future. Because like I told you, contrary to what you may want to believe, we're not getting full robots right now. We may have dolls that can talk, and dolls like Matt said, that has the sensors to where they can feel stuff and react to you touching them. And like he says, I know that we already have dolls that have robotic gyrations incorporated into them. We have dolls that you can buy a breathing function. You know, I've seen dolls that you can do that with. And I do think it's a day where you're going to see like all these things are going to come together, and the average doll is going to have a breathing function. The average doll is going to have some type of hip thruster motion. The average doll is going to have something to where the arm can maybe raise or something. You see what I'm getting at? But it won't be doing full things yet. You know, I think that's going to come after all of us are gone. Everybody that's watching the show today, at least. So let's share this video with you guys because you're going to love this. I haven't watched it in a while. But it's just a nice little video to watch to see, hey, where things could get at a certain time. Hold on. Oh, okay. This is it. So let's check it out, guys.
It's Brick Doll there. I'm here with the robotic whiz Trevor, and he's our resident robotic genius. We're working on what are you doing here, Trevor?
We're making a kind of a prototype for a sitting doll for like a talk show type of application. So
Outstanding.
Getting some idle movements so she looks like she's just moving papers around and looking around or interacting with a talk show guest.
So you heard what he said, that this is just for some type of promotion. They're making it for like the doll is sitting around like she's a talk show host, you know, and she's interacting and things. But I promise you, stuff like this sort of pisses me off. I told you, because you're going to see how much stuff the doll can do. And you like, man, some of this stuff got to be able to be incorporated now, you know, just a little bit, you know, for the normal consumer as far as the arm movements and stuff, you know, but maybe it's just too high tech.
Wow. There we go.
Look at that. That's sweet. I love the way her hand looks. You know, her hand look at that. I like that. They look so female, you know, so womanly. I love the way she's holding her hand. And see, man, this is why Austin and some people be like, man, it's going to be 10. It's going to be 20 years. It's going to be, hey, we're going to have it in 10, 20 years, man. 30 years, man. Yeah, we're going to have it. I'm telling you, man, you'll see these teasers. You'll see something like this. You'll be like, but they're doing it right here. They're doing it right here, man. But, yep, it's going to be a long way off because you see all these computers and stuff he's using to even make her move. They would have to find some way to incorporate all these programs to where it's just sitting inside of her, to where, guess what? You don't have to sit at a desk and make her move and push all this stuff in. All this stuff is going to be happening at the drop of a dime. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to take a long time for them to get all of that stuff to just happen on its own. But I don't give a damn. It's still cool to watch the development.
So this would be her idea of idling, would be just doing this?
Yeah. We have some adjustments we need to make, but kind of tapping her hands on the table or folding her hands together.
Wow, very cool. You put together quite a show with these girls.
Oh, yeah.
And like I say, they mainly just, it ain't a whole bunch going on. I don't know about you, but man, this is the type of stuff when you be wondering like what I'm doing when I'm doing research, man, I promise you, man, I be looking at stuff like this. I might look at this video 5 or 6 times for no reason, man. But I just think the animatronics is so good because look at her whole head, her whole neck. You know, that means it has to be something going on all up in. It's something going on all up in here, man. Gotta be. But once again, the problem that I say, the biggest problem with it is, it's almost like making it do it mechanically because everything she's doing, he's punching a button to make her do. So it's almost like a puppet, you know, electronic puppet. It's not what you're looking for in a potential Terminator or a Stepford wife, to where, like I told you, you're not punching buttons and making her do stuff like she's doing it on her own or deciding to do things on her own. That's a whole nother level. I think this pretty much he's not going to do much with her, but I just thought, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just amazed seeing her do this. Be honest, I like to. You know what I was amazed at? I was amazed at seeing her fingers sort of constantly slide across this desk without getting damaged. Because I was thinking like, man, I know she got some type of wire fingers or whatever, but I just be tripping off how some people just aren't concerned about dolls getting hurt. I'm so paranoid. Like, I would not have had her fingers touching that desk because I'd be like, nah, her finger might get bent. But people just don't be, it's like they don't even be caring, man. I think it's funny because he trying to move the doll like a regular doll, but it won't move because it's got air pressure in the arms. So it won't move right. Dude, this ain't no regular doll. It's a robot, bro. Okay, that's it. So that's the only video I want to show you on that. I'm gonna see if I can find this other one right quick. I don't know if it's gonna talk or anything though, but I just want to show. I know some of you probably haven't seen it, so. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Let's see. Oh, okay. I guess I'll show y'all most of this video. I wasn't planning on showing y'all all of this one, but since I found it, I might as well show you this. But let me check the comments before I keep going. Oh, I forgot that I wasn't back. This is badass. Okay, let's see. Gotta catch you up. Power Brian says, I hope the doll didn't give you the clap. And Ty said, you need to look at Lilium Robotics on YouTube. They make a cat girl robot. She's really cute. I can't lie. I'll check it out and tell you, but you know, I'm not with the animal stuff. I can't lie. You know, that reminds me of my guy, Dr. McTow. I support you and everything that you like. And, you know, I'm a fan. The girl you ordered, though, she's just an elf girl. And I love her. So luckily you didn't make her an animal. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad that she's not an animal. But, you know, if you're into the animal stuff, God bless you. I'm not into that in any way. Just like my guy, Dr. McTow. he's into the anime that looks like a cartoon, you know, the autumn, you know what I'm saying? And I'm into the anime dolls, but I like anime dolls that look like the human version of an anime. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy Austin Steele, he got that doll, or he wants he ordered the head, but he wants the full doll of Tifa from Final Fantasy. But she looks like a real human. She doesn't look like a cartoon. And, you know, that's the type of doll I'm into. So I think you're sort of into the more animal type stuff. And like you say, that's cool, but it's just not my cup of tea. But I'm going to check it out, though. I will check it out. Ty Barkley says she's really cute. Oh, yeah, she is. Bertha Uberman says that's because the women have more to, in our Uberman says women have more say in our society and they fear subconsciously potential backlash in woke culture. I don't really know what he's talking about because we weren't really talking about women in this particular instance. Hell, I think he was talking about just that whole subject that I was talking about how people be acting all scared when they see dolls and stuff like that. I'm not gonna blame all that on human women though. Shoes, it's just guys in general. Guys just be acting freaked out on their own. You know, but now, I'm not saying you're totally wrong. No, guys do let women dictate how they act. So you're not totally wrong. Talia Barkley, and I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I just had a bit of a spin to what you said. Talia Barkley says she can move her legs and arms, head, but not walk and such. I don't think he had that particular doll's legs moving. I'm not sure. They didn't never show it. But definitely her arms and definitely her torso and her arms were definitely moving, her head and face. But no, they can't walk yet. They can't walk. The birth of Uberman says, I want to perfect the doll feet. I'm gonna tell you, it's some perfect looking doll feet out there. And I'm gonna be honest. If you just looking to buy some feet, I'm a foot man, and I promise you, I was tempted just to buy a pair of feet off of RealDoll because they make some of the most realistic synthetic feet out there. I promise you, they look so real. Man, I almost wanted to buy just a pair of feet. I promise you, they look amazing. Power Brain says you're doing a great job today. Thank you, Power Brain, man. Just having some fun with you guys, man. And you know, I'm glad you did say that because you never know how you're doing. You know, I'm showing these videos. I'm not, you know, while you're doing it, you don't know if you're messing up or not. So I do appreciate that. Good feedback. Bertha Uberman says that's pretty good. Power Brain said that's really good. I guess they talking about the doll that I was showing. TFM wanted a hugging doll, and that's basically it right there. Oh yeah, yep. But like you say, that's not in production. And like you say, they'll make stuff like that for gimmicks, but they won't put it in production. Ty Box said general AI has been getting really good in modern times. She said general AI. She said some videos I've watched on Progress Google has made with AI task completion is pretty crazy for what it can do as general reasoning tasks. Oh yeah, some of this AI just in general is getting really good. I agree with you. But incorporating it into robots and having them do stuff, like I say, it's a whole nother level. Like I say, it's all coming. You know, when I tell you this stuff is on down the road, I'm not telling you it's not coming. I'm just saying it's just a certain level of it that I'm just going to be honest with you, we're not going to see. And let you know, by the time we start seeing some super good stuff, it's probably going to be too late, you know. But we're going to see some good stuff before we leave. We're going to see things progressing. We're going to see things progressing. Believe me, but 100 years from now, if society is still, you know, up and kicking, you know, they're going to be like, damn, man, this is badass. You know what I'm saying? You know, they may not even be walking fully yet, but they're going to be doing a whole bunch more than they're doing now. So with all that said, I want to share this video with you guys. It's going to make Ty Barkley happy, but this is just, since the guy was alluding to a male doll, I was able to find his male doll video I saw a long time ago with Matt McMullen. I'm going to let you watch this.
There was some further questions about Henry.
Yeah, what we wanted to know is when do you think
And this
Henry will be ready for release?
Hold on. And this is, of course, you see up here, this is 2021. So this was last year.
Well, the hardware is pretty good. So his robotic components are all working. Everything's fine. What's got to happen before he's ready is we need to complete the male iteration of the AI that's geared for a male. And this is a lot more work than building a robot.
Here, I'm going to make it even more difficult for you here.
Yeah.
Is this iteration going to be able to be for men and women?
Yes. So this is actually one of the more complicated facets to this, is that not only do we need to create a different gender, we also need to create a sexual preference in the profile. And this would be something that would also propagate to the female platform as well. So, initially, we kind of created the Harmony AI with sort of a little bit bisexual kind of flavor to it, but not defined as one or the other. What we're going to do is further define it so that the person can actually select what is the sexual preference of your avatar, be that male or female.
Because I'm getting a lot of questions from both about the doll. Hand punched hair.
Well, I just went to go take a look. So this doll isn't out yet. They don't have the male robot doll out yet.
There's a lot of talk about chest hair going on here about Henry. They love the sculpt that you've done for as much as they've seen that I managed to put up the other day. Are you going to be able to hand punch hair into his chest?
Oh, certainly, yeah. We can hand punch hair anywhere.
So you'll be able to do brows. You'll be able to do the chest.
Well, eyebrows are a popular one that we do.
Obviously, genital area.
I mean, we have people here who have actually punched an entire head of hair. I don't know why they did.
I have pictures of that. I mean, it turned out wonderfully.
It looks insane, but it's 80 hours of work. And
so we're talking about 80 hours. 80 hours of money.
80 hours of work by someone who knows how to do that, not just anyone. So it is a.
See, now he's talking about something I've talked about before. When I did a show about, hey, it's some strenuous work to implant hair in dolls. Now, of course, it's going to be more expensive because this is RealDoll and all of that. But even he's saying, man, it's 80 hours of work, but not just 80 hours of work, but 80 hours of work from somebody who knows what to do. And I'm letting you know, it's going to be way more expensive getting done over here in the United States than it is overseas. You know what I'm saying? Because like he says, he's got to find somebody who can do it and all this. Well, guess what? They have the people over there who can do it over in China and Asia and those areas that are making companion dolls. They have the experts. They don't have to go looking high and far. They don't have to pay this exorbitant amount to find this person. They already have them.
Really deep process. But as far as punching hair into body areas, that's actually very doable.
Okay. Let me see. What else was brought up? My last video was just an absolute circus, and I wanted to get more of you doing the monkey shines with Henry as far as the facial expressions. It just cracked me up.
I think Yuri is getting that going. Oh yeah. We can show you the puppet mode, mimic mode.
The mimic mode.
Yeah. So Henry will mimic all of my movements. This is Yuri. He's one of the partners
glad you
here.
came back so fast, baby.
Did we plug him back in? Oh, I don't think this.
Yeah, he's not on.
This is not on. Oh,
Hey, I don't like that, man. The doll just said, "I'm glad you came back so fast, baby," whatever. But it sounded more human than the female sound. I ain't like that now.
The red cable.
There we go.
Hey, mama, they got a doll for you.
Nope.
Wow. There we go.
How's that?
Very nice.
He'll come back here in a minute.
I was thinking about you, baby. Would you like me to recite a poem for you?
Not now.
I mean, he still sound like a robot, but honestly, he damn near sound more like a regular person almost.
Okay, maybe later.
So this has the eyes
I can't like that. Maybe later sounded pretty damn normal.
are connected.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the upgraded eyes.
Yeah, all the robots are going to have the integrated lids.
Those are the ones to be released.
The lids are attached to the face. They're
Okay.
not separate.
Okay.
Okay, so it's already on.
Ataya Barclay, I know you over there getting worked up.
So now you can see Henry.
Oh wow!
Now that's pretty cool. So he got now it's a sort of cheaper version of what that guy was doing yesterday in Robot Wars, where he was punching and the dog was punching a lot. Well, not the dog, but the robot arms were punching along with him. It's sort of like he's got that technology integrated into the app, and so when he looks into the app on his phone, Henry is sort of trying to follow along with him. That's pretty cool. But I don't know how. Hold on. But I don't see how that would be useful for an owner from a standpoint of, yeah, you can entertain your guests or something with something like that. But like, let's just say if I had a female dog, I wouldn't want to turn on a mirroring app to have her do every expression I'm doing. You see what I'm getting at? So I don't quite get the usefulness.
We make a pretty cute couple, you two.
Thanks, Mr. Dollbanger. We appreciate your compliments.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, he even talks when I talk. It's a big copycat. So yeah, this is a really cool feature. I don't know how much of this will make it into the consumer version, but
some will.
It's certainly fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, this is more of a novelty. Like I say, hey man, if somebody come over my house and I'd be like, hey man, you want to see something cool? But I wouldn't even. It's crazy. To me, this works better if you got a male dog, which I don't plan on having. Then you can turn to your partner and be like, hey man, watch, I can make this dog say something. But I wouldn't want to do that with my female dog. You know, I don't want to make her doing everything I'm doing. So I don't know. It's sort of crazy, but for the sake of showing it to your friend or somebody, just showing you, hey, that they can copy you, I guess that would be the usefulness. But it's really an unnecessary feature, honestly.
Certainly is fun to watch, I'll tell you that. Wow. And so this is just something you're just
it's pretty cool
around with, right?
This is one of our toys.
It was one of our toys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can just exit out of there and go back to normal. Hi, Henry.
And like you say, hey, that ain't even for us, you know, mainly. Maybe he would. I don't know what he may try to put in there, but mainly that's just them playing around to test it out. That's it.
Hi, Aaron. It is great to see you again.
I'm not
How
Aaron.
are you this afternoon?
That was the person that interviewed
I
him.
really want to be the best I can be so that you are so happy. I wish you a great afternoon.
My name's Matt.
Glad to see you, Matt.
Now that was cool. I did want to see what was going to happen because they said it was a guy yesterday named Aaron that he was talking to. So since he did an interview, I didn't know whether they had to set him up, you know, fully set him up to do the interview or not. Now, keep in mind, Matt does have the phone in his hand. Oh, you know, where he's controlling the app. So all it would have took him was to put his name into the app and then for it to, you know, respond to him. But it sounded like it did it in real time, though, honestly.
My name's Matt.
Glad to see you, Matt.
Yeah, I think that might have did that in real time.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure as a live album by Cecil Taylor recorded at the Academy der Kunst, Berlin on April 8th, 1990.
Just a wealth of knowledge.
See, he went too far. You know, he was, see, Italia Barclay, when you was talking about, you know, having that deeper conversation, see, it started going off the deep end, because when he brought up this phrase, it started talking about an album and stuff. It didn't know he was talking about a figure of speech.
Robots. He's got to start somewhere. At least he's smart on the smart side.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking about the release of Henry here. Probably what we were talking next year.
Yeah, we'll see. Right now, we're very
It ain't out
focused
yet.
on getting the females out, getting the,
Harmony.
Yeah, all of that stuff out.
Yeah,
because you've got a ton of pre-orders sitting here.
We do, and there's going to be a bunch more coming. I can already tell. So we're going to be really focused on, you know, setting up infrastructure for that, for, you know, porting everything over to RealDoll, which is going to be handling all of the sales, customer service, the ordering process for all of the.
I don't know how tall Matt is, but that dog taller than him, and I'm letting you know. I've told these ladies out here before, as much as you think these dogs is beautiful, and you know, you might be like, "Oh, I like him. He good." I guarantee you, I don't know how a 5-foot woman is supposed to move one of these dogs around. Now, I know it's some bigger women out there that can throw a truck around, but I'm just talking about the average woman. I have no idea how they're supposed to get into the dog game, unless like you say, they'll have to go with a WM when they come out with this super light dog that they're coming out with. But other than that, you ain't moving Henry around. You gonna have to call 2 dudes to move Henry around and set him up in the position you want him in before you even have sex. It's crazy.
Robots, and as that starts to stabilize, we'll definitely be putting our resources into advancing the male version of the AI. And
outstanding.
And you know, we have to also come up with that bionic penis that everyone's reading about.
I've actually asked me about that on a couple of different sites, male and female, and they're very interested in that.
So we're going to be working on some form of very special insert for Henry, so that he's able to lift trucks with his penis or something.
Well, I've noticed the lift movement, and I think I've seen some things that I think many of the women will really enjoy, and that'll be another option, correct?
Yes.
As far as oral
sex.
sex.
One of the things we'll be working on as well with the females, as well as like some kissing animations and things like that. And the cool thing is, as we start launching the heads, the software will continue to evolve, and this is going to be years and years of continued development on the app and the systems that run the robot.
He just said the word I was talking about: continuous development. And like I told you, I get, especially with these AI dogs, you know, they can. It's just like your computer. They're going to update those heads and update those heads, and they may update them into perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? As long as the company's around, you know. But sometimes these companies, they'll have the head out for so long where they'll be like, "Look, nah, you know, we don't do the app for this head anymore. You got to upgrade." But as expensive as these things are, I don't think that they're gonna, or these girls are, I don't think they're gonna stop the service on you buying one of these heads. But over time, that's how they're going to make these dogs smarter and smarter, because as they get more and more technology, that they can just pump it in through the cloud like they do everything else.
Okay.
The hardware of the robot is going to stay fundamentally the same, but the control systems will continue to improve. We'll add new features. There'll be, all kinds of new animations.
When are you going to start animating the body?
Well,
you're looking.
We're already starting to animate the body. The problem is, when can a body be animated and then be safe to throw into someone's bed?
Boom. Thank you, Matt McMullen. He finally hit the damn ball out the park. If you go back and look at my live stream, a near but distant future. See, you guys don't want to listen. Now, some of you do. I've told you, this thing is more complicated than just throwing a robot in your house. I've told you. First of all, to get a robot walking from head to toe, you got to get all of that circuitry that's going to be independent of the computer and all of that stuff working completely correctly. That's not happening in 10 and 20 years. They don't even have a walking doll with normal looking legs yet. I've told you that. That's going to take years and years and years of perfecting before it's government regulated to come into your home, because they don't want one of these dolls coming to your home and putting a death grip on your balls and squeezing the doggone pus out of your balls, you know, squeezing the testicles out of your ball sack. They don't want you to, they don't want that to happen. They don't want one of these girls to give you a hand job and rip your shaft off, bro. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Even once they perfect, you know, or think they perfect the robotic version of the doll, right? Where it can walk and it's reacting and it look human and all of this stuff. Even by the time they get all of that stuff down to a T. And let's just scale it back. Let's say it's not a super Terminator. Let's just say it's not even doing super tasks around the house, but let's just say it can get up and walk around a little bit. And, you know, let's just say the beginning doll, it can walk around a little bit and, you know, it can have sex with you and all that. But, you know, it can, like you said, move by itself, move on its own, walk around the house on its own. It can't do all the tasks, but it can walk around and stuff. Before that happens, I told you, it's going to have to be proven to be beyond safe. And here's the deal. If robots are ever into mass production, somebody going to die and get hurt. That's going to happen. And it's going to be an ongoing potential threat, meaning that it's never going to be a time where that a robot is going to be foolproof where it can't kill you. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's all a matter of progression. Before they even let it out, they're going to be super duper strict on it. The first time it kills or hurts somebody, man, ain't no telling what type of restrictions going to get put on it. And it's going to be restrictions for a long time. But then, just like with anything else, it may be one person getting hurt every 5 or 6 years. Or, you know, the numbers will be low enough to be justified saying, okay, we have a few robot malfunctions. We know how to handle it better now where somebody can, it's you know what I'm saying? It's a way to sort of stop it or keep you from, you know, it's some type of emergency thing to keep you from really getting killed. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some measures in place to try to keep you more safe than ever. But they're going to always tell you it is some chance that something could happen that you will have to take. But for the most part, at that point, the robots will be in full circulation, you know, and, you know, after they're out for a while, like I told you, it's going to be some danger that they're going to allow the public to assume. You know what I'm saying? But that is years and years and years. I'm talking about, like I told you, maybe 100 or 200 years from now. And, you know, even when I see Matt, I sort of feel bad for him. Not bad for him, but I just think about him like, you know, he's not going to see a lot of his dreams with this company completely come true. He's just really the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He's like Tony Stark's father. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the next person running his company that's going to get it to the heights of heights, you know. Not the next person, but people on down over the next couple of generations, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm here to tell you, a robotic arm that's strong enough to lift the entirety of its silicone weight is pretty darn strong. And if something goes a little bit off with that, it could take your head off.
Goes awry.
Oh, so he goes and says even more for you guys who are expecting a robot in 20 to 30 years. I've told you. He says it could take your head off.
Nobody wants to get a full body moving robot out into the world more than I do, but there's going to be probably a pretty good amount of safety that needs to go into it first. So you'll start to see some of our efforts. We'll be able to show you robots with moving arms, but you are not going to see one of those in your home for the next few years.
Okay,
I can
let's
guarantee that.
Let's
look, he says the next few years. Now, here's the deal. What did I tell you at first? I said, you're going to start to see some semblances of movement. That's what I said. I said, before anything, you know, over the years, you're going to start seeing semblances of movement. And here's the deal. I can be proven flat wrong at a certain time, but once again, I'll probably be gone by then because, like I say, they could somehow upset me and within the next 50 years make stuff completely possible. But most of us will be gone or, you know, too far, you know, gone in this life to enjoy those fruits of those, you know, androids. But I think that's even being super duper optimistic. But I think what we're going to be seeing over the next 5-10 years is a arm that can move but not do tasks and things of that nature. You know, we may see an arm that can move to some degree, or a finger or something that can move, but it's not necessarily computer generated. You see what I'm getting at? And even if it is, it's going to be down to the simplest of movements. It's not going to be anything that can harm you. You know, it's not going to be that. Because he knows he can't even allow that to happen.
A couple of questions, and I've gone through this again. I keep pestering about this, about the sensors being placed in the female and in the male robots.
Yeah.
In the bodies.
Yep.
The new bodies that you're going to be putting out for the AIs. You were talking about heating, self-heating.
Yeah.
You're talking about self-lubrication, and you were talking about sensors in the erogenous zones.
Correct.
Where are we at?
Hey, time out. I hate to say this, but you know, even as a creator, and I definitely don't mind, you know, I have to repeat stuff a whole bunch because, you know, I got new viewers and stuff, you know, people who haven't heard everything, you know, and sometimes I only feel bad when my old viewers have to listen to it again because I might have a new viewer to be like, hey, how did you get into the dog game? And I always tell people, go back and look at my older videos. It'll tell you my whole life. But I also can't just summarily dismiss them when they're asking me on stream. I have to, you know, get them an answer. But I don't never roll my eyes like, oh, this dude asking me a question. But I always think like, oh my God, I got to tell this story, you know, for people who've heard it a million times. But it doesn't bother me. I'm gonna tell you what makes me laugh is Matt literally looks like he's sick. Maybe he don't want to talk about this story, or maybe he don't want to talk to this guy anymore. But he like, man, will you let me get by my damn business, bro? But that's how he's looking.
Well, we're still developing them. So basically, we're launching the head with its own standalone sensor in it that could detect orientation and movement. We're going to use that as our data for the X mode.
Okay.
The sensors themselves are still work in progress. And those are not officially available, as the heating is not officially available. None of those things are currently finished. The heating of all of them is the most finished. It works. It's just a matter of, you know, kind of refining the process of installing.
Let me back into a corner here.
Yep.
When do you think? I mean, are we looking at next year?
No, I think this year.
You think?
Yeah.
You think this could be a Christmas present to all the members? And
now he says this year, but from what I see, I don't think that's available yet. Let me look right quick. He says heating is available right now. So I'm looking under the robots. Let me look. But I ain't say he said it's available right now, but this is 2021. And he was like, I don't know what point in 2021 this was, but he said they would be available that year, and it's 2022. So, you know, I'm not even sure if I'm looking at all the right parts, if I in the right section, but I'm on robots. I'm on the robots. And I'm on a full body. But you know, if I have to make corrections or something like that, I'll let you know later on. But I'm looking at full body. And I'm looking at the options right now. I see makeup, hairstyle, breasts, vagina, extras, custom freckles, converter. Build with. Now I don't see where you can add the heating mode on here. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Feature the RealDoll X. Okay. Neck side to side, up and down. Eyes side to side, up and down. Mouth open, close, smile, frown. So the mouth can't do anything crazy. Yeah. Eyebrows up and down. Mouth, face. Okay, body. Okay, body. Okay. Okay, the RealDoll X body is skillfully crafted down to the finest details. It's not. It doesn't have any animatronic parts yet, whatsoever. So as of right now, you know, I guess he just was optimistic that it would be out, but they don't have the heating out right now, as far as I see.
And people out there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, pending current lead times and everything else, someone orders and they really want to wait until the sensors are done or until the heating is fully finished, they can do that.
Yeah, because they're going to have to buy that. That can't be added to the doll.
Yeah, not right now. But as it, you know, as we announce, okay, we have the system ready, they could have it all on order and they could say, hey, is it too late? Can I add this?
Slap this in there with it.
Exactly. So the sensors will come right after the heating. Self-lubrication is all in there. So, I mean, we're working on all these things, but right now, pretty much all of our resources are devoted to getting these initial robot heads out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
job number 1 right now.
Basically, what he's saying is, hey, man, I'm trying to take the first step. Look here, man. Look, hey, look, we need to get these dolls out here first, which he has.
And I'm sure there's many people out there.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to Power Brain, though. But hell, this is 2021 Power Brain, and he's still talking about getting dolls out. So, man, shoot, I'm not sure. They act like they just really came out into production.
Okay. I can't think of anything else. Thanks, man. I appreciate your time and all the information that you've given.
That's that video. So those are all the videos, and that was an extra one that I'm planning on sharing with you guys tonight, man. I know it's been a bit of a longer stream. It went a little longer than I thought. But look, let me check on this once before I get out of here, though. He said, oh, no. I want to check on this. This is what I want to check on. I'm trying to see when did RealDoll X become available. You know, when did it come out? Let me see. Okay. So it sounds like it said that they came out in 2018, though. I guess the end of 2018. But on here, he was talking about still trying to get doll heads out in 2021. So I don't know exactly really what was going on. Whether I know what it was. I guess he was saying that he still had so many orders and backed up orders from, you know, back in the day that he was probably still trying to fill all those before he started working on anything else. Maybe that's what he was getting at. So let me catch up with my comments. Italia Barkley says the sad truth: if Henry was a dashing kangaroo or a cuddly burly bear man, she's so crazy, I would just die with happiness. She said, "I'm a total weirdo." No, you aren't. You aren't a weirdo. That's a terrible word most of the time anyway. Now, it is some people that just go so far where weirdo becomes dangerous. Now, that's the type of weirdo I don't like. But this whole weirdo word is crazy anyway, because weirdo is just a word to explain somebody who just doesn't do something like everybody else, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. So it ain't nothing wrong with, you know, you liking what you like. But man, I can't lie. I don't know how you like, just like people, I can't lie. You know what I mean? But I don't know how. It's just like, man, I know this company. You'll love probably Climax Dolls or Ted Barkley. They damn near. That's all I see them doing is doing animal dolls. But I know when I seen that horse doll and stuff, I just think like, man, I don't know who would want this. But it's funny to know that, hey, look, we all are different. So many of us that, hey, we like different things. So it's nothing wrong with that. You are not a bad weirdo. It's cool that you like something different. Brandon Anderson says, good morning, Jay and gang. What up, Brandon Anderson? Atalia says, nuance in conversation is a very important aspect to communicating. I like to speak in metaphor, idioms, etc. And it's a struggle for AI to understand. See, right. You like me in a way, Atalia, from the standpoint, I'm like, man, the only way I'm going to truly get into an AI, it needs to be close to human interaction, man, when I come to talking to them, because I don't like this old, hello, how are you, robotic sound. If I'm going to hear that, I just rather, more than likely, I'd rather just use my own imagination. Oh, she said, I dream of a situation like in the anime Chobits. I've never seen that. She said, Persicom robots can emotionally connect with you, and some people marry them. Well, like I say, the thing is, you ain't got to really dream. I mean, people marry their dolls right now. I mean, you can marry your doll, right? Look, you can marry your doll right now. Now, it won't, like you say, it's not emotionally connected to you, though. But you can marry your doll right now. And, I've seen longer stints of people interacting with their Harmony dolls, and I've seen like even that Brick Doll Banger guy. I think he actually works with the company or something, but I've seen him before because he posts stuff on Facebook sometime. I've seen him do stuff, but I seen him on one video where he was talking to one of his dolls after he had it for a while, and you could tell it had learned a lot. It was talking pretty good. I'm going to be honest. That's why I say I will give those AIs a bit of credit in RealDoll. They can get to a point where they do talk pretty good. Powerbrain says, wow, it's a good live stream. Thank you, Powerbrain. He said a lot of information. Yeah, I can't lie. I probably should have been a little bit more selfish and not selfish, but I probably should have maybe spread it out over a couple of live streams. But I just said to hell with it, man. We finna have a little fun today. Ty Barker says, I looked at Climax Doll sadly. Something about them seems off to me. Elsa Babe seems the cutest to me out of all the options. I don't want to dissuade anybody because I've said this before, but just from looking at Climax Doll, they are a legitimate company in every way, but they don't seem to be my type of company. From what they sell. I just say that. Powerbrain says, I'm a burly bear. Oh yeah, Ataya, love you. Mr. Powerbrain says, Powerbrain, but sadly, not a polar bear. She's so crazy. She's so crazy. Powerbrain laughing. Either way. So, guys, I ain't going to keep you, man. Man, it's been a hell of a stream. I hope you've been here to see it all because I ain't going to run it all the way back down. But it's just been a stream where I took a look at a great honor in Matt McMullen. If you look at it, you'll laugh because no, I don't agree with every angle he takes, as far as some of the things he said, and he definitely upsets me by not giving me his full talent, thinking that we can't handle it being super hyper realistic. And I'm telling you, I can handle it. And I know it's a lot of us out here that want to handle a super, we want to see your talents at its ultimate. They're already great, but hell, you already said you can do even better. So I want to see it at its ultimate. So other than that, keep up the great work. I like what you're doing. And I just want to show Matt McMullen today. It really jumped the gun on some of my RealDoll coverage. But I'm still going to be talking about a lot of questions I have about RealDoll in the future. So I have a lot of shows that I'm still going to do. But it jumped the gun because since I did the Robot Wars yesterday, I'm like, nah, let's go ahead and talk about, what America does have to offer. But we only have Matt McMullen. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole industry over there working, you know, trying to further the synthetic campaign for the future. And EX-Doll is definitely pushing their future. So I really I like the promise that's coming for us, man, in the future overall. East and West. East and West. But with all this, Power Brain laughing, yeah. But with all this said, man, that's been the show for today. It's been a hell of a fun show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Power Brain said he did, and I'm hoping it goes for all of you. It's been a hell of a informative show with Matt, letting you know all the ins and outs of the AI companions that he offers. And like I said, we took a step back in time. Those are older videos. Because right now, everything he was talking about, but not everything, but the actual AI and robot heads are available to purchase right now. You can get a full body, but the body doesn't have any of the extras right now. It doesn't have the heating, the sensors, all of that. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes peeled to see when those come out. But with all that said, it's been me, J. King Hefner, the beautiful Cali Sun. Got my girl Himawari in the background. We're going to let you enjoy the rest of your day. Got the Power Hour coming up tomorrow. We love you. God bless whatever you're wishing for and hoping for in life. Finances, relationships, health, whatever it is. We're praying that you have it. You just need to believe and receive it. But it's been today's show, and we finna exit stage left and get the hell out of here. Love you. We caught up with the chat, so everything is all good. We appreciate you. And have a good one out there, guys. Have a good one. Hey, guys, have a good one out there, man. Hey, look, the whole body coming out soon, man. Hey, start saving now, baby. You can have the whole AI body. Me and the girls is out of here.